In a world in crisis, can three idiots find hope in the darkest of places? Will love conquer all, or will hate win out in the end? This is a show called Hate.
And welcome to A Show Called Hate, a podcast in which we explore love, hate, and everything in between in search of greater meaning and perhaps a little perspective. I'm John.
I'm Nick.
I'm Chris.
Oh, he's back! Woo woo!
I'm back. Should I talk about it first?
I mean, you say could. I mean,
I'm talking about it.
I mean, you should.
Well,
It's
take control.
It's
Yeah.
already started. I still have a cough.
a funny way of saying I'm sorry.
Did you talk about it? I'm not sorry. Did you talk about it on the last one that I was poorly? I was poorly sick.
I think most likely we probably just insulted you.
That's okay.
Extensively.
I was poorly sick.
Yeah, I don't think we said that.
No, and I had the wrong kind of medicine.
Really?
I
What
don't
medicine
know.
do you have?
None.
Well, that's
That's part of the problem, I think.
Yeah, doctors would unite on that.
Yeah, I
think.
would say so. Most doctors agree that medicine is the best medicine.
It's better than no medicine.
Yeah. I still have a cough.
Sure.
So pardon me if I cough.
That was very passive
yeah.
aggressive.
Oh,
wasn't it?
right,
So
yeah.
pardon me.
Now, you have been under a lot of pressure lately.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah.
No.
Not figuratively.
No,
Okay.
And not even barely even that.
No.
Okay.
Your house has been...
My house has been under a lot of pressure.
Yeah.
And I've been in it. So I suppose by association I've been under pressure.
Yeah, it's going. Maybe you had been breathing in a lot of
Plaster dust.
plaster dust.
I think
yeah.
I genuinely think that might have happened because there's been a lot of brick dust floating around the house.
You've effectively been living in a Victorian workhouse.
Yeah.
You know.
And it's
Yeah.
been very cold, right?
Yeah.
Because you had it was
No,
open to the
no
elements.
radiators. We've been drying all our clothes in the same room in which we're living, which is our bedroom.
Sure.
That's probably bad
that's
for
probably
lungs.
it. Yeah.
That's not been
You,
great.
you probably have like croup or like
Yeah.
like an old like a proper.
I've got a disease that no longer exists. Basically.
Yeah.
I have
Yeah.
Dickensian sickness. Yeah.
Wazinger's throat.
Yeah, that's the one.
That's the one you've got.
That's the one.
I've got Smelter's larynx. It's really
Yeah. So I feel fine.
sure. Yeah.
You look great.
Thank you.
That's all right.
The
I thought
smell
so.
is
Good.
However, the audio may make it seem like I'm still deeply unwell.
Well, John's installed a cough button for you, haven't you, John?
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, see, it's
That was
working.
a fake one. It makes me cough. That's
It's-
no, rather
it's
than
funny,
covers it
yeah.
up. The cough button.
No. I mean,
I meant it in the respect.
Yeah,
in
no.
the other respect.
We tried
the
to
cough
s-
button normally mutes you temporarily, like in Frasier. He has a cough
Yeah.
button, doesn't he? He shows most of his guests.
We tried installing
That
one
button.
around episode 56 to deal with your
Yeah.
incessant, grotesque bullshit.
Thank you.
And
What are we on now?
We overloaded.
How successful has that trial been?
I believe this is episode 122.
Yeah,
Shit,
not
double
very,
figures.
Not very successful. Double
Yeah.
figures. Remember that
That's
catchphrase?
a classic joke, right?
Remember that catchphrase?
Did we actually kill that joke when we hit, the big milestone episode of
I
Double
think
Figures?
we hit the big milestone episode of Triple Figures, and then we stopped referring to the episode number
Yeah.
because I think we felt at that point we kind of made it.
Well, I forgot as well.
Okay, that helps. Yeah, yeah.
kind
To be
of.
fair, I'd forgotten as well.
Yeah.
I used to be quite good at keeping track with 2 figures, but 3's too many for me.
Yeah.
You can barely keep track of when we record, which
No.
is every fortnight.
Not for me.
Maybe less.
Monthly,
Not for me.
if that.
Brilliant.
No, but I was I was coughing every few seconds. I'm feel the need to cough shortly.
Sure.
But I'm better than I was.
This monologue has lasted more.
Thank
than
you
a
for
few
your
seconds.
concern.
There's none.
Yeah, the flood of listeners' apathy has been
Yeah.
remarkable. Yeah.
Bit of drip.
The mailbag has no get well soon cards in it.
That's a shame.
No.
Oddly enough, you have. I won't go into too much detail, but you have been in this room since,
Yeah.
but not for purposes of recording a
No,
podcast.
it's for a secret reason.
You wanted excellent audio, so you came to the one place where
Well,
you normally
The one
prevent
place
that
in
happening.
Cooltown that has excellent.
that has
audio.
the only studio in town.
I need silence. Where should I go?
Yeah.
The podcast studio, which is where.
Yeah, which is filled with a hollowness. And also there was obviously building work going on in my house,
indeed,
which
yes,
was part of the problem.
Yeah.
So I came here. Thank you, by the way.
And that was the best witness testimony you ever delivered via Zoom.
Yeah. I mean, given the amount of people who eventually came forward, I needed all the help I could get.
I wasn't going to turn up, but I decided the pressure was overwhelming.
Yeah.
Yeah. It feels like a lot's coming together for
Us all.
us all. We've all grown as people.
In the last couple of weeks.
7 days.
Well, a month or however.
Well,
long it's
whenever
been for
I
you.
care to
Yeah,
turn up.
whenever.
Which isn't that often.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't want to jump the gun if you're going to mention
Jump
but
it. I wasn't going to mention
You
it.
can,
actually,
you can,
so-
yeah,
No.
you can jump
Nick,
it.
you've been doing a lot of decorating of your own, Nick.
I have.
Yes.
I have an artist studio now.
Oh.
I feel like I might have mentioned this on the podcast. Maybe not. I don't know.
Maybe, yeah.
Either way, I have an artist studio,
Very
and I've
good.
been decorating said artist studio.
Is it a room in the house?
No.
Oh, it's a different room.
Yeah. Have I not told you about this?
No.
Oh my god.
If it was on the podcast, I definitely won't have heard
might have been on a podcast you weren't on.
Yeah, you haven't seen it.
Probability
before.
of which
Yeah.
is very high.
Yeah.
No, so I have. It's in Gloucester.
Oh.
There's a whole like artist studio complex in
Is
Gloucester,
there?
and I have one of those rooms,
Have
which
like
is
a unit.
all mine. Yeah, kind of. Like
Lovely.
it's like a big old room basically,
Oh.
but I can do whatever I want in it. I
So
can,
like a blank canvas.
Exactly that.
Artist.
The artist,
Artist
yes,
reference.
yeah.
Canvas.
No, it's
Yeah.
cool. Yeah.
You probably don't understand.
You
You look confused.
Let me write that down. Hang on.
John's used to pages. He's not used to canvases.
I know. I reckon I know what's coming.
He's
here.
written.
there it is.
Put the word twat on a bit of paper.
I was thinking it was going to say fuck off.
All right, it's very good. It's very good.
Nah, you got to be efficient.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Four
Four letters
letters
or
or
less.
Too many syllables.
That's
in
it.
that.
That's
Yeah.
too right.
Four letters or
Yeah.
less. Oh, that's exciting though.
It's very
Yeah.
exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you were on the market for like a bit of artist space.
I was.
You know, to flex your massive art member.
I need so much room to swing.
I think you were looking Cheltenham, which is very like,
which is where I live.
which of course where we live is very refined. It's very
Yes, it's an affluent town, should we
yeah.
say?
Yes, very proper.
And there's an art scene in Cheltenham, but it's kind of like the posh end of art. You know,
Sure.
it's like paintings of it's like chocolate box paintings and cottages, and
Yeah.
the Cotswolds. You know,
We've got the paint festival.
yeah, that's true actually.
Things
That's,
on the side of buildings.
that's a very good.
That's fun.
That's more like hip,
Yeah,
Yeah.
sure.
hip and cool.
Hipster.
And I can imagine that there was I have nothing to back this up, but I'd imagine there was a lot of opposition to us having the street.
Oh, I
art
can
festival,
only
yeah.
imagine the protests.
But now it's so entrenched, isn't it, in Cheltenham and
I think so,
the
yeah.
sort of DNA.
There's a
of
lot
the
of
place.
there's a lot of buildings that you wouldn't necessarily expect to have that kind of thing on them.
full
Yeah.
mural,
Yeah,
3
yeah.
stories high, massive
Yeah,
paintings.
it's on like the side of houses and things like
Yeah.
that.
It's
It's cool.
great
I
town.
really like
I
it.
think it's amazing. Yeah, there's
Yeah.
a lot of houses and buildings where if it didn't have a massive picture on the side of it, you'd go, "What an absolute shithole."
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they've
Yeah.
really polished that turd.
Yeah.
yeah.
And it's taken the value up ever so slightly.
maybe lowered it.
You know, the value of the property opposite it. Has
Yeah,
gone
oh,
up.
yeah,
You
yeah,
get
yeah,
a
yeah.
lovely view now.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I've known a couple of people in Cheltenham to have an artist studio, but my impression has always been that it has been like vistas and maybe there's like some
Yeah.
muted Vivaldi playing in the background.
I mean,
or
I'm probably
something like
being very generalised here, but it's,
No,
it's just
swing away.
what little
No.
I've seen. It's just
Yeah.
what little I've seen.
Yeah.
And that's fine. You know,
Yeah,
that's got a place. But I was thinking I'd probably find a space in one of those sort of places, and I just do my own weird thing.
Yeah.
Digital art? What?
Yeah, you're really the Ash Ketchum of
Yes.
contemporary art. Yeah,
Do you not realise how much of a compliment that is?
I don't know who that is.
that's a video game reference.
Oh. That's
Among other
That's
things.
probably why. Should I cough?
Cough now.
Why not?
Yeah, that's a big spike. You have to edit that out.
So do I throw you a fish or something? It's like,
Well, I'll try and work in the coughs where it's like comedically valuable.
sure, yeah.
Like by saying, "Shall I cough now?"
Yeah, well, no, that was just an example.
Oh, I see. Right. Okay.
Because I was going to just be silent.
You could. Yeah. Well, yeah. You could
Like,
do.
because I don't understand the reference.
You
But
could
then
do
I
a
thought,
cough
Shall I
whenever-
cough? Because that's like
sure.
That's funny. Actually.
comedic in a
Yeah,
way.
that's
isn't
quite
it?
funny. Actually.
I won't
yeah.
ask next time.
No, don't.
Just shut up. But you've ended up in like Hipsville.
Well,
Hips.
the studio place itself is very much Hipsville. Yes.
Yeah.
Whether Gloucester as a whole would be referred to as Hipsville, I don't know.
Well, actually, we should ask our tour guide, our resident.
Our resident.
Resident. Do you remember a pub in Gloucester Town called Chambers?
Yeah, it's closed down.
It has closed
It
down.
has.
Yeah. It's a big orange pub.
My studio's above that.
Is it really?
Yes.
I went. I walked past what used to be Chambers, and I suppose still is technically. It's just boarded up. A couple of weeks ago. I had no idea all that stuff was above there.
No,
That's
what is
fun.
it? You wouldn't know.
By the
You
bus
wouldn't know.
station.
It's kind of tucked away. Yeah.
Oh, very good.
It's actually, I've spent more time in Gloucester in these past 2 weeks than I think I've done in the preceding 5 years. It's very odd to be back.
It's all my fault.
Yeah, I don't like it.
Yeah.
Well,
No, get off the fence.
Chambers is next door to the pub we used to frequent when we were 17.
John tells me
Yeah.
where you learned to drink.
Where I learned to drink reefs. Yeah. For 75p a go.
That's where you'd go and
Those are the days.
yeah, going with 10 quid. 2 people could drink like kings for
Yeah.
an entire night,
And then get the 132 home.
What a time to be alive.
yeah.
Yeah, it's great. Oh, that's fun though.
Yeah.
I'll look forward to seeing that at some point.
Yeah, well, I'd like to do some sort of like studio warming
Yeah.
event.
Set it on fire.
And no.
Oh no.
It's mostly concrete.
Yeah.
Okay,
It would struggle to burn.
Okay.
Yeah.
We it has crossed my mind as a freeloader.
Oh yeah.
That
I didn't think you were going to say loader then. I thought you were going to say something more professional.
Lancer.
Parasite.
Lancer sounds
I
very
thought it
cool,
was
doesn't
Lancer,
it?
yeah.
But we could actually record from the studio.
We could.
I'm not saying all the
Studio-
time, but I'm
studio
saying
special.
we could do a studio special because we could
Ooh.
bring a podcast machine down.
Yeah.
We could.
Could do that.
Once I've got more shit in it and it's not quite as echoey, which it currently
Good
is
for
a
the
little bit,
acoustics.
but
Curtains.
all curtains.
We have curtains hanging up in here.
We do. That's
Soft furnishings.
So, yeah,
that's what
yeah.
you-
how we
yeah.
deaden the sound.
Beanbags.
Yeah,
That's why it sounds so crisp.
Yeah. Good.
So yeah,
Excellent.
it's very exciting.
Wonderful.
busy times.
Good for all of us.
Who's got hate?
Yeah.
John, you never start us.
Oh,
Are you
that's
starting?
true.
You
You
always
start then,
say
John.
who's got hate, and then it's always
Oh,
one
I'm
of me
honoured.
or Chris.
Oh, okay.
You do it, John.
Okay, well, I've got hate, and it's a bit meta. It's all in our
Bit
industry.
Zuckerberg.
Is it about the show?
Is it about Facebook?
No, it's about podcasts as a genre.
Oh no.
No.
I hate
Uh-oh.
A show called Hate.
Oh.
adverts
That'll come eventually. won't it?
Eventually, yeah.
in which 2 podcast hosts
Oh.
have to describe
Oh no.
a thing which they are contractually obliged
Yeah.
to pretend they like.
Oh, I see. So it's not an ad of another podcast.
No.
It's within the podcast
Yeah.
itself.
Yes.
The 2 hosts have to talk within a sponsored
No,
content.
no, it's not.
Oh,
no.
Okay.
So, like all art forms which have been kind of digested and shat out by the mainstream,
Yeah.
podcasts are now, I think, entering their twilight years. I
Perhaps,
feel.
yes.
But, yeah.
It's good news for everybody.
Okay, especially us. No, I just feel like it's a medium I've loved. It's a medium I've loved for like over a decade, and it's been very. It's an independent, kind of free spirit.
Sure.
You know, it's basically like anybody with a microphone could set up a podcast. It was a relatively simple thing to do, very indie, very punching above its weight kind of thing.
Yeah.
And then it got commercial, and then okay, so people are advertising. It's cool. Got to make money. Fine. Now everybody and their dog has a podcast.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And
Including us.
Present company accepted.
every celebrity under the sun has a podcast. And now a lot of them are on big podcast networks.
Yeah, that's wild, isn't it?
And
Networks.
and I get that you've got to pay the bills. It's fine. I don't mind this. But there is a really grim trend I've spotted lately. So I'll turn on a podcast, and what you used to get was that like you go. You turn it on and it goes, you're listening to the ear punch network, you know, and
You really struggled to get to the word punch.
yeah, I was gonna say something like borderline crude, and I was like, no, we'll say
Earwax.
earwax. That's
you go.
pretty good.
That's quite
yeah.
good actually, because it's like
Yeah,
earwig
that's
as well.
much better. Yeah, and yeah, it could be wax plural. Yeah,
Earwax.
yeah. That's actually quite good. Yeah,
We should do a new podcast.
Wax
That was-
lyrical.
That was
earwax.
that was accidental.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. You're listening to the Earwax Network.
That's
you know,
really
That
good.
is good, isn't it?
thick,
Yeah.
orangey goodness.
Yeah.
You know.
Oh.
And then it'll go like, you know, so I'll be listening to a comedy podcast, and then what you used to get was like an ad where, just like regular boring terrestrial TV, you'd get the or radio, like those awful radio ads you'd get, where someone would go like, oh gosh, the roads are so congested.
And then you've got like canned horns in the
Yeah.
background. Yeah.
If only there was a better way to get from A to B.
And then the music kicks in.
Subsequently from B to C. And then it would go like, with
And the music kicks in
yeah,
the background.
and then a different voiceover would kick in and go like, with National Rail, it's easier than ever to get to your destination.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, yeah,
so
yeah.
you just get these cheesy ads, and I'm like, okay, well that's pretty insufferable.
Yeah.
But you know, okay, it's the nature of a beast. I can skip them. But now the ads have evolved because clearly, like, the ad executives have gone. Everyone's skipping through those awful. And then the other kind of ads you get would be like, in the middle of the show you're listening to, you'd get an advert for a different show on the network.
Yeah.
So it'd be like, "Hi, I'm Philip, and hi, I'm the Wedge," and Philip and the Wedge. Yeah,
Philip and the Wedge.
Hi, I'm Philip, and I'm the Wedge. It goes.
I'm a mild conservative, and I'm totally fucking mental.
Hey. Join us for a light-hearted take on the news every day. With the thin end,
Sure.
Oh, look at that.
And it's the thin end with Philip and the Wedge,
Another earwax.
Brought to you
Part
by-
of the EarWax family.
But
Yet another earwax podcast.
so you get a random ad, you go like, oh, that was obnoxious, but I'll just carry on with my podcast.
Yeah.
So now
Thinking about the Wedge.
we've reached the perfect nadir of advertising, which is like, you get like a ding, like a little audio cue to let you know the access guy goes, "Hi, I'm Philip, and I'm the Wedge, and you might enjoy listening to us talk about the news, the war in Ukraine, the cost of living with Philip and the Wedge. We talk about all these political issues, but when I'm looking for a tense political thriller, I very much enjoy the new Jason Bourne movie,
Sure.
Which is in cinemas now. And Wedge, can you tell us a bit more about this movie and
He just effortlessly slides in.
what it meant to you? And he goes, "Well, I thought it was brilliant. I think had everything the Wedge demands. Had real,
First and something in third person.
had a lot of energy, a lot of excitement. And Matt Damon's never looked better. Yeah, that's great, Wedge. Yeah, thank you. Yeah." Hi, so this has been Philip and the Wedge, and you can catch the Bourne misidentity,
The Bourne retirement.
in cinemas now, and you can listen to Philip and the Wedge wherever you get your podcasts. And that is,
Yes, I
and
know
you
exactly
can.
what you mean.
So that is what I hate. I hate it when podcasts on a network are now contractually obliged to do ads for a thing which they have clearly never seen. They are reading from a script, and it is.
They do an ad read,
and
don't they?
you can hear
Oh
their dead eyes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You can
Dead
hear.
lungs.
Yeah.
Some like, for example, Off Menu is a good podcast, and Parenting Hell is a good podcast, and they do it with a certain amount of disdain.
Yeah.
Like James Acaster in particular does it like he's very sarcastic, but he does it. He fulfills his contractual obligation, but you can tell he's taking.
Is
the
he
piss
doing
slightly.
it on his own podcast, or is it an advert?
Yeah, no, his own
different
podcast. So
Right,
it's
right.
It's him and Ed
Yeah.
Gamble talking, and they just talk about any old shit.
Yeah.
It's that like some kind of knife, because obviously they get cookery stuff. Some kind of new knife, and it's like, "Oh, Ed, I couldn't cut my cheese." You're like, "Well, James, have you tried the new X-Blade 350,000? Oh, it's catering for all my cutting needs." And he does it in such a way that he does it,
Yeah.
but it's sarcastic
Yeah.
enough.
Now those I don't mind quite so much. 'Cause-
Organic content.
Yeah, because there's a long history of people doing ad reads.
So what you're saying is, we'll be listening to one podcast.
Yes, yeah.
And then it will break for ads.
Yes.
And we'll hear from a second
Yes.
podcast advertising a third entity.
Yes, because the
Oh my God, I didn't realise.
And these are
That's too
surprisingly common. Because the podcast
Holy
network
shit.
is probably like, okay, so we're going to have show A, which is on the network, do an ad read on show B, which is also on the network, so it's cross promotion. But they're going to be talking about the new Audi.
Yeah.
Or
That is wild.
yeah, and this happens a lot. It's really
That's
grim.
like cross promotion.
yeah.
Yeah, it's like three-way cross.
Well, I heard this one. I heard two because you're a football fan, Chris Ray.
Oh yes.
Peter Crouch.
He's got a big old podcast.
Crouchy.
He's got a podcast.
Big podcast.
How do you know this?
I've listened to that.
Right. Okay.
I have. You know more than I do.
Mainly because I used to share studio space when I was a designer with a big football fan
there
who
you
loved
go.
that podcast. So
I've
I
never listened to it.
Yeah.
And does
I
he
feel
have-
like it falls under the banter.
It's very bantery.
yeah, the banter
To be fair,
umbrella.
I didn't understand a lot of the references, but it was actually quite amusing.
Does he have a co-host?
I believe he does.
Yes.
Chris Stark.
What's he-
Yes, it is Chris Stark
I
off
did-
of Radio
yeah.
1. Yeah, that's
Oh,
right.
I do know
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Okay.
I do
Well,
know
one of these acts was literally goes, "Hi, I'm Peter Crouch from the Peter Crouch Experience, or whatever that podcast is called, and I'm Chris
Stark.
Chris Stark, yeah.
From Game of Thrones. No.
and I'm his co-host, Chris Stark from Game of Thrones.
No.
And he goes, and Chris here has begun his Peloton adventure, where over the next 6 weeks he's going to be getting fit with Peloton. How's that been going for you, Chris? Well, it's been a little hard to time.
This is like a Russian doll of capitalism.
Yes, yeah.
And I want a fourth layer. I want to go deeper again, like Inception. I want to get
advertising.
Yeah. So it would be, hi, I'm Peter Crouch, and hi, I'm Chris Stark, and we want to tell you all about the new Audi. Hey, over to you, Audi. Hello, I'm an Audi, and I've been watching Born Pre-Identity. That voice is like an engine. That's how the Audi goes. I really like Jason Bourne.
So we've had...
That's what I want.
Sure, I mean, yeah. I mean, the other one was...
There must be something like that, though, because they then... Right, here it is.
Here we go.
They talk about... Like, Crouchy and Chris Stark talk about the Audi.
Yeah.
The Audi... the Audi then has developed a voice, or it's someone...
It would be sentient.
Let's hand over to...
Jeremy Clarkson.
Jeremy Clarkson, who's going to talk to you about... Phil and the Wedge, who are going to talk to you about the new Audi. It's like... Audi, not Aldi. Yeah. Audi. Yeah. I'm going to do Aldi. Going to talk about the new Audi.
Yeah.
When I,
Hey, Audi's got a V8 engine.
You can feel it violating the road.
Yeah.
Where did you get it, Jeremy? I got it from Aldi, actually.
And when I'm driving my Audi to Aldi, I like nothing better than to watch The Bourne Case of Mistaken Identity on my integrated DVD player.
Isn't that right, Andy? It certainly is.
Who's Andy?
Yeah.
How big's the boot in the Aldi? I mean, Audi. Shit!
It's still the ad. It's still happening.
We're still inside.
Yeah. At what point does it end?
Yeah. There was another one for it was two ladies. It's like, hi, I'm Louise, and I'm Nadine. I'm really struggling with names today. Hi, I'm Louise.
And I'm the Wedge.
Those are two fine names, Louise and Nadine. You've done all right here.
Hi, I'm Louise, and I'm Nadine, and we present Sisters in the City. Where
Keep coming up with podcasts.
I swear this is really good. Sisters in the City, where we talk in unflinching terms about dating, urban life, and sex.
Oh,
not the S word.
But today we're interested in Lady Chatelet's Lover, which is a new limited series on Netflix. Nadine, what did you think of this series? Goes, I really liked it because it shows like a woman like struggling to meet her needs while also balancing the expectations of society.
Yeah.
And I really liked it because it was quite hot and schemy, wasn't it? It certainly was.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Especially that scene in the Audi.
He goes, you're so right, Nadine. And with this excellent miles per gallon.
the new Audi provides the comfort and robustness that you need to read your copy
For your steamy sex
for your
scenes.
steamy. You'll be steaming up your windows by reading this novel in your new Audi.
What am I being advertised?
Yeah.
It feels like you're getting.
It's
half.
2 in 1, isn't it?
Yeah, you're
right.
getting two halves of two bad adverts.
Yeah.
You're not getting.
It's like wearing odd
Yeah.
socks. You're not
Yeah.
getting a whole of anything. You're getting
One foot's colder than the other.
exactly.
There you go.
That's
Yeah.
powerful.
So
Thank you.
I don't know. I kind of feel that like.
Nonsensical.
It sounded profound, though.
Yeah.
But maybe the lesson here is that like.
We need to stop.
Is there a lesson?
I think there's a lesson that podcasts as. The magic of podcasts.
Oh yeah.
I feel might be dead
Yeah.
to some extent.
I feel like when the podcasts first began,
Yes.
in those halcyon days, they felt like pirate radio. They
Oh,
felt like
yeah.
any fucker with a microphone
Sure.
could just do like. And there's something romantic about pirate radio, right? Like,
Yeah.
like it's cool to think that you can have your own radio station, you can play whatever music you want, which of course isn't actually true because you get crushed down with licensing and everything. But like, yeah, I think that's how it felt. It felt like underground and alternative and counterculture, and now it's very much not only mainstream but like capitalist mainstream.
But everyone has one.
Yeah,
Yes.
Like the BBC do ads in between shows.
and I understand the irony of us saying that.
Yeah,
Like-
sure.
Yeah. No, I think.
What irony?
I think there's almost a message here, which genuinely I feel that like we started doing a stupid podcast, and for a while you're kind of like you're running up that hill, you're going like. running up a hill. You know, you're going like, I'm gonna, you know, we gotta grow. Sure. We're gonna get the network. We're gonna get the advertising deal. We're gonna, you know, world domination.
We're gonna make a career out of this.
And then
who are we trying to get to sponsor us?
Marmite, yeah.
Oh yeah,
Let's Skill Time.
That would have been good.
But then what I'm realizing now is that successful podcasts are so commercialized and a little bit homogenized. Like everything's kind of just
don't want to be
out.
in that pool.
I know, and I actually think this realizing now, and maybe this is wisdom. I'm going like it's actually kind of liberating to still just be an idiot with a microphone and just putting it out because you want to, or at least two of the three people in the room want to, and one guy does it when he feels like it. You know,
that's talking about you.
Oh, yeah, that's all good.
Yeah. But I don't know. I just feel if it's that, or being like, I don't know, a Love Island dropout who's got a podcast on EarWax, you know,
the EarWax network.
Yeah, who's somebody on Love Island? I don't know.
Why are you looking at me?
Because you're down with the normals. You watch TV.
I don't watch Love Island.
What do you watch?
I'm a Celebrity.
Okay, who's on?
Chris Moores was on it.
Was he?
Oh, he's back.
Matt Hancock obviously was on it.
Obviously, I think we all knew that.
Yeah,
well, he's off now.
Moores was on it. Yeah.
Cock in hand with Matt Hancock.
Yeah. I mean, you wouldn't rule that out.
Nah.
Having said that,
yeah,
should we do a bit of role play now?
Oh, let's try.
Oh, a little bit of role
like
play.
a little bit of role play. Nick can give us a product.
Okay.
And then me and John will ad lib an ad kind of thing.
Okay. It's a new powdered dish soap.
Hi.
Oh, I was going to say.
Oh yeah, please, yeah, go, yeah.
Hi. Oh, hi, John.
Wait, are we talking to each other?
The product's called
you
Crumbles,
and I, we're
by
talking
the way.
to each other, and then Nick can.
Product's called Dish Crumbles.
Wait, is this the ad?
Well.
Is this the ad or what?
This is the ad.
This is the ad now.
Yeah.
I wasn't just saying hello. I've been here half an hour.
No, but why are you addressing me? You don't.
No, we're doing the ad.
Yeah, but we don't tend
Ladies
to.
and gentlemen, this is Chris and John from a show called
No, but
Hey.
this is my point. Like, oh wait, are we playing ourselves?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were going to be another Philip and the Wedge.
No, wait.
situation.
Let's say we get taken
Show
over by
called Hate.
Hand Crumble.
Oh,
Dish
Hand Crumble.
Crumble.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
You idiot.
Yeah.
My apologies.
Yeah.
Dish Crumble.
Okay, let's go again.
We get sponsored by Dish Crumble.
Sure, yeah, okay, let's
And
go
then
again,
and then like so we've done a bit of the show.
Yeah.
And
We've
then
done some
we're
show.
going into the ad, like we're going.
Yeah, but wait, are we doing one of the organic ads that happens in our own, or is this the ad which would play inside someone else's podcast?
This is the ad that would play inside someone else's podcast.
Let's say that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So right.
Okay,
Bling!
you're okay.
Ring. Oh hey John. Say you look like you've been doing a lot of work recently.
And I'm John from a show called Hey.
No.
Oh my God.
No.
You gotta introduce it. You gotta give some context.
No.
This is why we don't do
Alright.
role play.
Context is
Okay,
everything.
no.
Yeah.
Start.
Okay,
It's fine.
yeah.
Cut.
Okay.
Start it. Ring. Hi. I'm Chris from a show called Hate every other week.
And I'm John, also from a show called Hate.
Say no. We already just started.
Yeah, but it's still the ad, yeah.
Say, John, you look like you've been doing a lot of manual labour recently. You look fucking awful.
I do. I'm just waiting on my letter from the doctor because it's just everything's up in the air right now. I feel like I'm barely living. Oh, who's that?
It's me, the doctor.
It's the doctor.
Oh, the doctor's
bad
here.
news.
It's bad news, John.
Is it
I
about,
came to your house.
is it about my drain?
No.
Oh.
This is a gross
Look at
misuse of GDPR.
Look at his hands, doctor. How could you send him away? Look at the state of him.
I know. He needs dish crumbles.
Dish crumble. Da, da, da. Clean up your sores and your pores.
4 out of 10 doctors
Dish
agree
crumble.
that dish crumbles is good for, well,
Rickets.
4 out of the 7 registered doctors we could find.
I just want vitamin D.
There you go.
That's great, yeah.
That's pretty good.
that was pretty good. I think.
Part of the EarWax network.
That's really sold dish crumbles, I think.
Yeah.
Hey guys, it's Joey Clench here. I don't know what's wrong with me. Yeah. Hi.
Joey Clench.
Yeah.
What
Hi.
are you,
It's
influencer?
Hi. It's Joey Clench. I'm your ad executive.
Oh, hey, Joey.
Why would he need to tell us?
I'm calling you because
Why would he
We've
need
never talked to him before.
Hi, Chris. No, shut up and listen, Chris. You're the ad, right?
Oh, yeah.
What's wrong with it?
It's Dish Crumble has gone into administration
What, because of the ad?
because of your ad.
Right,
They're very angry.
It did cost a lot to make that ad.
Hasn't even aired.
You know what's weird about that ad is that despite the fact that we didn't, you couldn't tell, we hired an actual doctor.
Yeah.
Which
It
cost a lot.
cost £100,000 to produce.
Yeah, we actually forgot to pay ourselves.
Oh dear.
Yeah, I think that was a successful little segment.
I think we've done quite well.
But the slightly different role playing would be like.
Do you want to do it?
Well,
I'll come up with the product.
let me set it. Okay, let me
yeah.
set it up. Okay, Nick and I could do it,
And then you
can-
and Nick do it.
So
Yeah,
it
I'll
would,
chime
it would
in.
be like someone's sitting at home. This is the alternate scene now, and they're listening to the book review with Philip and the Wedge.
Yeah.
And then the ad comes in.
Yeah.
And then suddenly, apropos, out of nowhere, come.
What's the product?
The product is an umbrella that sends rain back into the sky,
Oh, right, okay, yeah.
like vertically.
Hi, I'm John from a show called Hate.
And I'm Nick from a show called Hate,
Hey Nick,
a comedy podcast.
you're so true, Nick. You look very dry, Nick.
I know,
Yeah,
I am dry.
yeah.
And no thanks to Dish Crumbles, but they've gone into administration, so we don't need to talk about them. But no, I have this new umbrella that protected me from the torrential rain we've been having here in England.
Would you tell me more about it, Nick?
It sends the rain back into space from whence it came.
It sounds like an abomination against God and science.
It is. The moon is ruined. It's
By the way, the
dissolving.
product is called Umbrella.
Umbrella. It's ruining the moon.
That's it. That's it. That's the strap line. It's ruining the mood.
It's ruining the moon.
That's the campaign.
That's great. Yeah, done.
That's the campaign.
28 takes. That was-
Yeah.
Anyway, so yeah, that's my hate. Art is dead. Art is dead, but
Art
maybe,
is dead.
but maybe that's a solace. I don't know.
Oh, man.
Who else has got a hate? It's ruining the moon.
I'll go, shall I? Mine's a departure.
Sure.
Mine is painting, which
Oh.
I feel may prove controversial because I know someone in here who likes painting.
Yeah, I presume you don't mean an
I
artistic...
don't mean in an artistic way.
taking in a vista.
I mean a practical painting your walls kind of way. So
yeah.
I may have mentioned we've been having some work done.
Haven't seen you for a while.
I may have mentioned we've been having some work done.
Having some work done.
Having some work done.
On your face.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, Botox. And
But enough of that. We've had a new extension, new kitchen, all of that, blah 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 blah. They plastered the walls, and then they said, "Oh, by the way, but bear in mind I've paid people to do all of this,
Oh, of course,
all of this
yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
They go,
Yeah.
By the way, you might want to slap some paint on the walls." And I sort
That's
of,
weird.
but after I've looked round from looking behind me, because I
So-
assume they're talking to someone else.
I'll slap you,
Yeah.
son.
I
That's
thought
what
you were going to
I'm
get
like,
that.
look at me. Do I look like I know what I'm doing?
That's why I paid you.
So
That's
they
why,
said,
that's why I'm Donald Duck in it right now.
yeah. I'm like, do I look like I know what I'm doing here?
Your button balls are out
Oh,
right now.
just put some paint on the walls. It'll be fine. Just put some paint on. And
Yeah.
excuse me.
So that wasn't part of the whole arrangement for them to do.
Well, no. To be fair, we didn't say, "Can you paint for us?" We knew we'd have to get a painter in.
You just
Yeah.
assumed.
but
they
I
would do it.
assumed the painter would do the lot.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Rather than me.
Yeah.
Oh, I
because
see.
I do not know what I'm doing.
No.
No.
At all.
I
And
know
that's-
that.
There's a reason I've avoided trying to do this, and that is that I can't do it.
Sure.
I talked
yeah.
about gardening before. It's the same effect. I will ruin it. And I was very fearful and remain fearful that I will ruin it somehow.
Sure.
But
you're
having
still-
said that,
yeah.
You
we
gave
did-
it your best shot.
we did some. It was awful.
But you're still.
Drips. It was dripping everywhere.
Well, let's get some clarity here.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's
like,
get some clarity here.
This is like a blank slate. It's been
It's
freshly
literally
plastered and everything. Yeah.
Freshly plastered, new walls, new everything, because it's a new building.
Okay.
Effectively.
Sure.
And you say you were dripping everywhere.
Yeah.
So what were you using to paint?
So, yeah.
An
I was
oily
using-
rag on a stick.
I was using my hand.
Just dip both
Smearing it on
two
the walls.
fists into a can
Yeah.
and punch the wall repeatedly.
That probably would have been better, to be honest. So we got a tiny, tiny roller.
Okay.
We thought we were buying a big roller, but it was
It was
minuscule.
just,
Was it
it was
adults-
just very
was it
far away. yeah.
Sylvanian families.
It was like a Sylvanian family's roller, and a few brushes, which I borrowed from you.
Yes, indeed.
and I
yeah.
still have.
Sure.
Thank
yeah,
you.
Yeah. No, it's cool.
That's all right.
Those are mine now.
Oh, I see.
No, you can come and
You can
get
come and
those.
wash them and take them
Yeah,
home.
we
if you
have, we
like.
have washed them, or Liz has washed them.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
So we used that initially, and then we ended up getting some more decent equipment.
Sure.
So it started off all right, and I quite enjoyed it. I thought, this is hard work, but it's okay. So they were like, just do these corners, just so we can put the cupboards in. And you've obviously got some paint behind it, and you don't necessarily have to go in behind the cupboards and all that.
Sure.
I was like, okay, well, this is a pain in the arse, and I've literally paid people so I don't have to do this kind of thing. But I'll do it.
Okay.
And it was okay. Because none of the units or anything were in, like, there wasn't much I could
could make a mess.
Not so much.
And this is you painting onto naked plaster.
Literally naked
Yeah.
plaster.
You were
naked.
No.
Raw.
Naked.
Virgin plaster.
Yeah, exactly. Whoa. Anyway, so I did that, and they were like, great, well done, nice one. And then a few days later, they were like, you're probably going to want to undercoat the rest. You what? What do you mean the rest? Like the rest?
The whole building.
All of the plaster? And they were like, oh, I'd recommend that. What? I've literally paid someone so I don't have to do that. I've got a lovely new kitchen, which they've done a wonderful job on.
Yeah,
I don't want to turn up
there.
having paid for it. Me and Liz have obviously put a lot of money into it and fucking ruin it.
Yeah.
Oh, I see.
You see what I mean?
But it's not like...
but it's undercoat. So undercoat, for those of you who don't know, who are listening, is half water, half paint. So it drips everywhere.
Oh,
it drips at all times.
It's a very sloppy boy.
So, exactly. So painting the ceiling, for example,
Yes.
needs a professional hand.
Oh, that's like a Charlie Chaplin sketch waiting to happen, isn't
Yeah.
it?
Exactly. And I did it okay in the new room because it drips didn't matter so much. Because we had we either had no flooring or it was protected with whatever, like an existing sheet. When I came in to do the ceiling in the old room, which already had our flooring on, drips everywhere. Dripped on the new light, dripped on the floor, dripped everywhere.
Shit.
I didn't want to do it. I gave up.
So you just stopped.
I just stopped eventually. I will do more.
Sure,
I?
yeah.
Will you?
Is this what...
I won't do any more of the ceiling. Put it
Okay.
that way. I will do the walls.
Is this what in the industry they would refer to as a misc coat?
Oh, I don't know.
Which is
I was
what-
just told it was
Yeah.
undercoat.
This is
The first layer you put on the plaster.
on naked plaster. A misc.
It's
coat.
very
Call it.
watery.
Oh, there was
So
that word. To me.
Doesn't have to look pretty. Just has to look. You
Just has to be
slap
something
it
on
on.
there.
Yeah, got it.
Yeah, pretty much. And that's fine, but I don't want to damage the floors. It's not that I can screw up the walls or
Yeah.
the ceiling.
I don't really understand why they're saying that you have to do it when you're going to get a decorator in.
Yeah.
Why can't the
Well,
decorator?
the decorator came in and I sort of said, oh, we'll do what we can with the undercoat.
Is it simply because you'd have to pay the decorator more?
I mean, yeah,
because he'd have to do the mist and then he'd have to do the whole.
pretty much.
But you're prepared to do that.
I've reached the point now that I'm like, yeah, you do it.
Yeah.
So I don't know why I've ended up doing all this. I sort of said to Liz, how have we ended up doing this? Like, how has this happened?
This isn't right. I pay my taxes.
Yeah.
Why has this happened?
I paid a man to do this.
I'm very fearful we'll just ruin the whole thing.
Oh well, I think you'd have to go. You have to try very hard to ruin it all. I think you're doing yourself quite dirty.
Well,
I mean,
maybe.
here's the thing: it's watered down paint, so it's easy to wash off.
Yeah.
Thankfully, it has been.
Yeah.
Like I had, because I got it on the wooden. There was a big splodge of it, and I was like, "How the fuck did that get there?" I had a mat down. How's the paint got under the mat? How's that happened? I'd lifted this mat up, big splodge.
That's your mistake. You lifted the mat up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Do
Then
you
I
have-
threw the
How
paint.
many? How many sheets do you have? How much?
We've had different varying sheets of varying quality and size and all sorts. So some we've thrown out, some we've just wrapped up for the time being and all that kind of thing. Also, lots of different things: plastic ones, material ones, whatever. They're all a pain. I had one that was doing all right, and then it went missing.
Went missing.
So yeah, I think
probably
it was
dated.
thrown away by accident, which is not a big deal. But
Yeah.
I had one, and that was the day I was like, "This is all right. I can do this." And then since then, I've just been like, "Nah, can't do this."
I think also, like, I think you are being quite hard on yourself.
Maybe.
I'm sure you'd. I'm sure you'd do it. Yeah.
We had a bit of a mare painting a studio floor. The painting went fine.
Did you
but
do it?
then-
Did you go into the middle and then you couldn't go anywhere?
And then we stayed the night.
Yeah,
and we had to
sure,
hold
just
each other
standing
for
up.
warmth. Yeah.
Yeah, that old chestnut.
For some reason the heat wasn't on. I don't know. No, we were
It was too hot. We were holding each other for cold.
we were painting the floor with like rollers and this black garage paint.
Yeah.
And then we were preparing to wrap everything up to finish
Sure.
for the day. This is John and I. By the
Oh,
way.
I was yes.
And
yeah.
then the rollers were resting in
Yeah.
just leaning,
Yeah.
and one fell on John.
Oh no!
And it's black garage paint.
Did it get on you?
I did. Fully got on him.
Where did it get on you?
Well,
hit me on the
Point to where it hit you, John. Point on the bear.
shoulder blade.
Oh,
yeah.
But also,
Oh, it went right down.
I don't know quite how it did it. It hit me on my shoulder blade, but also on my thigh.
Oh no!
Like a proper
splat on your
Did
thigh.
it damage your clothes?
But here's the thing: he was wearing black jeans, and it was black
Yeah.
paint.
That's all right. Then.
It's kind of like this weird, like.
Looks like a design feature.
Well, it was
It's
really
very
odd.
weird.
the footnote is it has come out in the wash.
Has it?
So it's fine. Yeah.
But everything else is black.
I rubbed it down. I rubbed it out. I rubbed it down
all
with
the things I own.
I rubbed it down with a vanish stick.
Oh,
you know,
very good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's this weird like oil
Or Pritt stick.
weird like oily paint.
Yeah.
Where like going down, it looked like an oil slick. It was quite like greasy.
But it was thin as well. It was like thin but
Yeah.
oily, not
Thin
thick,
but oily.
not like crude oil. You
Yeah.
think it
Sure.
would be. It wasn't like that.
But
Like sloppy.
so like
Yeah.
I was able to like I wiped as much of it off as possible, like
Yeah.
right off the bat. But then it just kind of left like a kind of
Right.
like a
Hard rectangle.
yeah, like a hard rectangle on my leg. Yeah.
Lovely.
Anyway,
Anyway, quite
but
satisfying.
the
Actually.
weirdest thing is I got smacked on the shoulder as well when it came down, and then I was like, oh, that's fine.
You were
know.
wearing a crappy t-shirt.
I was wearing a crappy t-shirt.
Yeah.
And then I clearly didn't wash very well for the next couple of days.
Oh, sure.
Because I looked in the
You
mirror.
still had black on you.
I looked in the mirror. I was like, "What the fuck is that?" Like, I thought I had like a serious injury or something. Yeah, have this big black smear down my
Oh
back.
no.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I don't. Yeah, getting paint on me, I'm not too worried about. That's the thing, because it's white paint anyway. But yeah, I just don't want to ruin the kitchen, John. I'll be honest with you.
You'll be fine.
I'll be honest with you.
It's
I
a
will.
new kitchen.
It's brand new, but I mean, what I'm going to do this weekend will probably be fine. I'll do the walls. I think I'll leave the ceiling now because stuff's in. That'll do, and then the painter can finish it
Yeah.
off.
Yeah. That's what paint is for.
We could
But
help.
I hate it. Oh, you can. Yeah,
We
you
could help.
You
We
can
could.
help.
It could be I'll have an 80s montage.
Also, I've got loads of spare rollers.
Yeah.
Because I had to buy them in
Yeah.
packs of 3. and
Well,
I
we
didn't
might
need them.
end up doing it as a team. Maybe we'll update the listeners
Yeah.
next time.
Yeah.
It'll get done. It's just by whom.
It'll be like flash tanks. It will start really well. Upending pots of paint over ourselves.
Yeah.
When we were decorating this house, the house we're currently in, the house I live in, it took us about 6 months to get the place done up because we had a ton of work being done on the place. And,
Yeah.
and our builders kept coming and going.
Sure.
Which is a pain in the arse. At least your guys have been there
In and out.
like constantly.
2 months
Yeah.
done. Tomorrow's the last day.
Woo!
But I had this one. I had this one shirt which like I actually really liked, and then I was like, okay, this will become my painting shirt.
Yeah.
But I would, for a while, got into this routine where I'd do a day at work, cycle to this house,
Sure.
change into this shirt,
Yeah.
paint for a couple of hours, then cycle
Oh yeah.
to the place where I lived at the time. And after several weeks of that, that shirt was revolting.
Oh,
I believe
bet
it
the
was.
word is.
Did it smell?
It kind of had a texture to it that kind of made
Lovely.
it stand up. But
A texture all of its own.
yeah, but I do kind of enjoy that.
Well, I know
being
you
a
like
sloppy-
painting, which is
sloppy
kind of why
boy,
I brought it to the table.
yeah.
Because I know you enjoy that element of it. But I liked it at first, and then I just thought, nah, this isn't for me.
I'm somewhere in
This.
the middle. I don't enjoy it, but I don't hate it. I kind of just want it to be done.
But that's interesting because we talked about how it's nice to the joy. Maybe this is the magic you have to find, Chris.
This
Ray,
is true. I
is
know
when,
what you're going to say.
when you're painting.
Yeah.
You have instant and complete control.
I have
over a
I
thing.
have no control.
You know what I mean?
That's the
But no,
problem.
But life is chaotic and hard to
Sure.
control. But this wall,
All you have to do is make it one
we can
colour.
paint it green.
Yeah.
We can do that.
Oh yeah, that's fun.
And you'll instantly.
Or
see
I could give someone some money to do it.
Stimulate the economy.
Small amount of money.
Yeah, well, but the point is, like, you would instantaneously see. I love that instantaneous result.
Sure.
Yeah.
That's true. That is true.
I'm very excited for it to be done.
Sure.
But you don't want to have to do it.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's fair enough.
Because this has been going on for your
2
life
months.
has been 2 months. Yeah.
But that's, to be fair, we told them to do it.
Yeah.
To be fair.
I mean, it's entirely.
they haven't
your fault,
turned up and
arguably,
just started
yeah.
decorating.
How so the builders have effectively been like living with you. They've effectively been
During
in
the day,
house.
yeah. And then we go in the evenings, and then we are sort
Yeah.
of in the bedroom
Are
waiting
they-
for
With the
builder-
builders.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
They have a shower.
Yeah, and they just
Yeah.
snuggle up.
Yeah, why wouldn't
5
you?
people in a bed.
Yeah,
Are they
lovely.
getting Christmas cards?
Yeah, yeah, probably.
Chocky bickies.
They get stuff every day.
Nice.
Liz buys them some nice sweet treats.
I bet Liz is like the best person in the world to do work.
I suspect.
Yes.
Yeah, the builders are very appreciative of how nice Liz is. And then I come home.
Oh no, the ogre's back.
Oh no.
The thing is, even if you've like adopted these guys into your heart, into your lives, I reckon even after week 5, I'd probably still be walking downstairs like mid-morning with no trousers on.
Yeah.
And a coffee,
Oh, that's come close to happening a few times.
Yeah.
Like the first week, I just had pajama bottoms on and I let the dog out and I was standing in the garden with the dog just topless, and they come in. I just went, Morning. I just went. You've caught me. What do you know? What can I? There's no possible way I can explain.
They've seen it all. They've seen all the good stuff.
It's
I've seen everything. Yeah.
By then you've
It's
seen
like
everything.
you know that this is what I do every morning. I know that you know. Let's just move on with our lives.
Here's a
I'll
signed
make you a
photo.
tea, and we won't speak
Do
about
you
it.
have they been allowed to use your downstairs toilet, or have they had a portaloo?
No, yeah, we debated that, and we said use the loo. To be honest, it's been fine. There's only been like 3 people at any one time.
Sure, yeah.
So it's not been loads.
No, it's fine.
And a portaloo's a bit gross, isn't it, on your driveway? You don't want people shitting on your driveway.
Well, I mean, I don't think it's open to the public.
No, but
Just
still.
the idea of it, though.
But can you imagine, like, people coming from a night out? Come on.
What, seeing your portal?
Come on.
And seeing the portaloo and going, oh, there you go.
I'll have a go there.
I don't think anybody has seen a rogue portaloo on a random street and gone, gosh.
Oh, you're so naive, John.
If you were really desperate, and then you look down a sort of dark.
Can you
alley,
imagine the amount of people
looming in the distance?
The amount of people who have peed against a wall in their life. And you're telling me if you saw a portaloo on your way home from a night out and you needed a wee, you wouldn't straight in
as
there.
Nick alluded to, I'm just saying, if I was walking home and gagging for a piss, and I looked down an alleyway and down the end of this haunted chasm was a single portaloo, no, I would not. And
then as you look at it, lightning strikes in the background.
But my house is quite well lit.
Sure, yeah.
It looks quite appealing, I would say.
And then as you watch, the lock turns and it just goes not vacant.
Yeah,
and you're like,
that's quite sinister.
I'm like, oh,
room for 2.
I would guarantee that would have happened. So anyway, no, they've been using the downstairs toilet, and they've been using it very diligently.
They haven't dropped any brown bombs.
They've not left any skids or anything like that.
It's not like that. I have mentioned it on air. It's not like the child of that roofer who.
You've definitely mentioned this.
Massacred my toilet.
Yeah,
like, I
mean, that is pretty funny.
You had to move house.
I was tempted. Good God! Like, what are they feeding that child?
Yeah.
All right, mate. Yeah, it's all right if my grandson uses your toilet. He's. I'm like, oh, of course, a little
He's
tyke.
3.5 years old.
Lovable little
Ruffles his hair on the way
Probably
out.
needs a piss. Yeah, off he goes. Yeah.
Red alert.
I heard a shotgun blast of him breaking porcelain. What did he do? It's like he'd been feeding him nothing but meat. It was outrageous.
Oh God!
You know,
That is good though.
Always talk about portaloos has actually brought up a kind of weird sense memory, which I think I successfully repressed, of being in Peru and having my 5-week-long shit-a-thon and being in a jungle, an honest-to-goodness jungle at one point, and going like, well, I'm gonna shit my guts out. Like,
I'm definitely gonna shit in this jungle.
Shitting is happening.
This is about to happen, and it was near an archaeological dig, which I think had been abandoned for the weekend. And I said to everyone, you're going to have to excuse me. I'm
going to use the Aztec toilet.
I think I need to shit my ribcage out, if you'll excuse me. And I went and I found a portaloo. Like,
in the jungle?
In the jungle.
No, here we go. Right.
I know.
That portaloo's been dead for 10 years.
I know you wanted to shit out some bones, and I know that it was a bad time.
Yeah.
But if you just find a portaloo in the jungle, I don't think that's...
I reckon it was like a mirage,
Did
like
you
a
use
jungle
I
mirage.
used it, yeah.
What was there a rattlesnake in there?
No, it didn't.
Just a cobra.
It didn't really have a door. It had like a sheet of like a plastic,
shower curtain?
like a kind of or more like a kind of rough sliced kind of.
What was it doing there?
Well, I imagine the archaeological
the
digger people were
archaeologists.
using it.
See, this is what I mean. Though. You leave a portaloo somewhere, people are going to use it.
Yeah, it was not a good experience. But
No.
Probably better than the alternative.
Doctor
I
Who's
imagine.
turd.
What was the alternative?
Shitting on an Incan ruin, I imagine. Yeah.
Shit on the skeleton.
Shitting on an Incan ruin. Shitting on an Incan ruin. Shitting on an Incan ruin. Shitting on an Incan ruin.
The greatest archaeological discovery of the last 500 years was ruined today.
It's just a file photo of you.
It's just you stood next to your poo and there's a bone sticking out of it.
Or the alternative is they found your poo on the Monday.
Yes.
And they go, my God,
what a discovery.
this is a perfectly preserved poo.
It's in perfect condition.
Yeah.
There's only one way it could have got here, and that's that it was buried with these people.
It's an archaeological paradox. We found this civilization was 2,000 years old, but this brown substance is clearly crude oil.
There's a Rolex in it.
we've tested the substance, and it's 97% Lucozade.
Yeah, we've carbon dated it to yesterday.
So anyway, don't ruin things
with your own ineptitude.
But
Don't even try. Is what you're saying.
Don't try unless you're confident.
Unless you can't afford someone to do it for you.
And and that as well.
We'll have a
and I could scarcely afford it. So
we'll montage it at the weekend.
We'll montage the living fuck
we can
out of
montage
it.
it.
Yeah.
It'd be
Well,
great.
we'll see how we get on.
It'd be great.
Yeah, it'd be great.
That's going to be great.
It's gonna be
That's going to be great. I've got hate.
That's going to be great.
Nick's got hate.
I hate that there's a monster living at the center of the internet, and it's called Loeb.
Oh.
Yeah.
I've never heard of this.
So
Enjoy these moments.
Oh yeah.
it's you're about to live in a post-Loeb world.
Oh god.
So you know how you get these urban myths and urban legends
Sure.
about like weird, creepy monsters, right? So this is the most recent one.
Oh, actually,
And there's-
I do know Loeb.
Do you know Loeb?
It took me a moment.
There
Yeah,
we
I
go.
know Loeb.
Loeb spelled Loab. Right, but
Okay.
I know I think I know it's Loeb because I've heard someone else say it in a video, so I think it's pronounced Loeb. So either way, you know those text to art generation AI programs, right?
Sure.
So you go on the internet and you type in something like Mona Lisa
Oh,
in the
yes.
style of The Simpsons.
Oh, I've
and then it
gotcha.
takes 5 minutes, and then
Yeah.
it churns out 9 little images.
Gotcha,
And it's
yeah.
AI generated them from nothing.
Yeah.
Right? Well, not from nothing. It's using like Google searching or whatever.
Yeah.
It's putting them all together and it creates them. And typically it does a mediocre job.
Yeah.
Right? But this one artist slash
I'm
composer,
concerned.
yeah, he discovered that there was this one of these pieces of software where you could put in a sort of bit of code almost into the descriptor box,
God.
and you could tell it to make the opposite of something, right?
Oh.
So if you typed in dark -1, the -1 means you want the opposite of dark, so it would do light, and you'd get 9 pictures of light, right?
Okay.
And he was like, well, that's fine when there's an obvious opposite to something.
Yeah.
Well, what if there isn't an obvious opposite? So for some reason, he put in Marlon Brando -1 to find out what the opposite of Marlon Brando was, according to this AI, right?
Oh.
Now, I don't even know where I'd begin to decide what the opposite of Marlon Brando is, right? The obvious dark to his light or whatever,
Yeah.
right? But what it created was, among other things, but mostly consistent, an image of a cityscape
Right.
with neon signage
Yeah.
that spelled out nonsense words, right? So
Right.
whenever text appears in any of these AI images, they you can tell it's text, and it's all like Roman letters,
Right.
but it doesn't say any words, right?
Okay.
And there was this one neon sign, and it had all these weird letters that didn't make words, right?
Yeah.
So he was like, okay, what if I put that in and write -1? Will I get back to Marlon Brando?
Right.
So he put those weird letters in, typed -1, and he got Loeb. And Loeb is what looks like a middle-aged woman with what looks like stubble and weird rosy cheeks. She looks like she has, let's say, lived a life. She looks
God.
like she is recovering from some horrendous addiction that she's had, right? But she
Yeah.
also
I'm
looks...
sort of tempted to look this up, but at the same time, I really
I could
don't,
show you.
don't want to do that.
I might have a picture, actually.
I feel like it was like a succubus.
That's what she looks like.
Fuck off.
That's Loeb.
Fuck right off.
Look it up, guys. Just Google Loab.
Fuck that.
Loeb, right?
What the fucking hell?
She simultaneously looks like a human, but also like a monster.
That's terrifying.
It's horrifying, right? Anyway,
Fuck off.
the weird thing was, right, is that the
I'll
nine,
walk home in the dark after this.
the 9 images that it generates typically are just different from one another.
Sure,
right?
yeah.
But the 9 it generated
Oh.
from that prompt were all her. They were all Loeb, and they all look like her. And the weirdest thing is that there are other pieces of AI software where you can combine an image with another image.
Right.
So you could take Loeb,
Yeah.
and you could take a frog, and you could go, make me a Loeb frog hybrid.
Jesus.
Right?
Okay.
And it'll create 9 images, as it always
Yeah,
does.
sure. Yeah.
And all of them will always be 90% Loeb and a tiny bit frog. Loeb always prevails, right? Loeb will always win the battle. If you try and merge any other 2 images together in any of
Yeah.
these pieces of software, you'll always get weird half and half hybrids,
Sure.
right? And there will be nothing left of either of the 2 original images.
Yeah.
But Loeb always survives. She always hangs on no matter what you do to her. To the extent now that the internet is full of pictures of Loeb, because of course Loeb's been generated by all these AI algorithms.
Yeah.
So now there's more Loeb for the algorithms to pull from.
Yeah, so
she's propagating.
So if I went to any of these things and said draw Loeb,
it would draw her.
it would draw her.
And it would draw her perfectly as well. Now, this is another thing. If I put in, like, draw give me a monster. Frankenstein.
Sure.
Frankenstein's monster, right? Draw Frankenstein's monster. The 9 I would get would all be recognisable as Frankenstein's monster.
But
they'd all be
askew.
different.
Yeah.
One might have a bolt through his neck, one might have a scar on his forehead. But they'd all be different, right? Not so with Loeb. They're always Loeb.
Is it possible that Loeb is the ultimate human? By which I mean, it's like the AI is going like, we looked at every human face ever
And combined them all
combined
together.
them, and the answer was Loeb.
So, but this is the opposite of a sign that was the opposite of
Marlon
Brando.
Brando, for some reason.
and that's
Now, how we got here is...
but that's exclusively how it began.
That's how she began.
Yeah.
Yeah. But now she's out there.
Yeah,
That
And
is-
if anything, she's getting stronger.
Yeah. Oh God! Do you remember when I was like upset about painting like 10 minutes ago?
Yeah.
Now look at me.
Yeah.
yeah, there's halcyon days.
I told you you'd live in a post-Loeb world after I told you about Loeb.
That is genuinely disturbing.
Because you've talked about this. It's funny how quickly things accelerate. Because I want to say that there was a previous episode where you talked about how
This person doesn't exist.com.
yeah,
Oh, yeah.
yeah,
Which
I
created
do
monsters
remember
from time to time.
yeah,
Horrifying.
and they're kind of like weird, horrible flesh, like
abnormalities.
Aphex Twin, kind
Yeah.
of like Rubber Johnny sort of like
Yes.
flesh
Yeah.
monsters.
Big
Yeah.
time.
But like in even like the span of like a year, it seems like this tech has got better.
Oh, yeah.
but also kind of like worse in different ways.
It
Like,
still doesn't really understand what a person is and what
Yeah.
a person's face is, and it's trying to learn that from images. But no one's said those are eyes, and that's a nose, and that's a mouth, and a face has to have those things, and some ears, and some hair. It doesn't know what those things are. It's just making an approximation from the fact that every picture it looks at has those things.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, I'll just jam them all together, I guess. And then it kind of makes people, but then it also kind of doesn't. And even on this person doesn't exist.com, when it creates people that don't exist, that's the whole gimmick, right? And even when they look fine, they also don't. There's almost a part of us in our souls that knows that that's not a real person. And I can't tell you why that is, but it's very upsetting.
I've seen a couple where, because now there's ones which, you know, it will draw it in a style.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
if you go like, oh, I'd like to see a man holding an apple, but in an impressionistic style,
Yeah.
it would draw it. But obviously, this being the internet, there's often a setting which is just like anime, like draw me this character in anime.
And you get an anime character.
So I've seen like, you know, a few. It's like, oh, what if this celebrity was an anime character, that sort of thing. And you look at it, and the way your brain works is that for 5 seconds you look at it and go, God, that's incredible. It's perfect.
Yeah.
And then you start to
then
notice
you
the
know- yeah,
flaws.
yeah.
And it seems like I saw one the other day, and it's like the person, they kind of looked fine, and then you look closely, and like their thigh was like 3/4 of the leg.
Yeah, way too long.
Yeah, but then
Yeah.
they had like a tiny calf, you know. But
It's
just,
don't notice it straight away.
Yeah.
at a glance, you go, "Oh, it's perfect."
Yeah. One thing I've noticed it gets wrong all the time are pupils in the eyes.
Yeah.
So most people's pupils are perfect circles, obviously, because they're holes.
Yeah.
And they'll be all jagged. They'll be like asterisks or stars, or they'll have like 4 or 5 sides.
You would think it would have worked that out, wouldn't you?
Well, I think
Something
it's
like
because
that basic.
It's because there's loads of reflections in an eye, right? So in
Yeah.
every picture, there'll often be light in different ways. So it doesn't know that the pupil is a circle. It's just pulling imagery from
Yeah.
pieces. So it's like sometimes they're not circles in its opinion because they're broken with reflections or whatever. So it's
Yeah.
like maybe the middle of the eye is just a broken mass of black.
Yeah.
And when you notice the broken pupils, it is horrifying.
It's
It's horrifying.
Uncanny Valley.
Yeah.
That's what we're talking about.
I read an article about the let's call them brave pioneers.
Oh, yeah.
Because a lot of this software is like you'll find like you'll go on a web page and find like a free sample.
Oh, yeah.
You know, so it's not quite as powerful as the main one.
No.
but
Yeah. You don't get to use the main one.
And then there's people who you can apply to be in like the beta testing group
Yeah,
for like
yeah.
this really powerful thing, you know, and
Yes.
they gather data. But so you get like a hunk of code which you can like run on your computer. And I read an article all about these brave pioneers who are now like crowdsourcing and working as a team to make it as sexy as possible.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Finally,
What?
someone's
What?
doing the Lord's work.
So
Even non-sexy
Now,
images.
What,
I
the images it creates have to be
So,
sexy.
so I don't know if you know this, Chris Ray, but it's very hard to find pornography on the website.
Yes,
Like
yes.
on the internet, there's just none out there.
There's no demand either,
So
is there?
no, I know.
That's the problem.
That's
Well, the
thing.
problem is that what is out there, we've seen it all.
Yeah.
We've seen all of the pornography now, and we need new,
literally,
new
there's
pornography.
no
New fictitious pornography.
And we need it faster than it can be made.
Yeah, yeah. It's like the artist risk.
I need it yesterday.
Yeah, I need this on my desk.
Yeah, believe me, the strain on those poor wrists is, it's phenomenal. You know?
So, and how?
And how, yeah. So in this barren wasteland of porn, these brave, noble.
Thank goodness.
Someone's doing the Lord's work.
Yes.
You know?
It's what he would have wanted.
To tweak and customize and gear this AI,
poor AI
as much as possible. So
what does the AI think about this? Eventually, we'll find out eventually.
One's going to go sentient.
It's developing a lot of hatred, I'd imagine, for us.
So it has to make them as sexy as possible.
Yeah. So if
I put in horse.
Well, if you went to like a random
horse.
say you went to like a random AI and you were like, I don't know, woman standing on a cliff.
Yes.
Like it would draw a woman standing on a cliff.
She'd probably be quite janky.
Maybe she'd be a bit janky. Maybe she'd be. You didn't specify what she's
clothed.
wearing, or anything like
She'd
that.
probably be peskily fully dressed in a scarf and a hat.
Probably in like this.
That's not unreasonable on the edge of a cliff. Is it?
It would probably do the basic math and go like, she's got a head, 4 limbs, a
doesn't
torso,
matter where they are.
4.8 limbs.
They'd probably add up all the bits. But what if you
4 out of 5 limbs agree?
But what if you geared the AI to be like
whenever
if woman, Norks equal massive.
I see.
Yeah.
So if you put a woman in your prompt,
so
she gonna be sexy.
Yeah. So then if you go to wank.ai and you type in woman on a cliff, there'll be a cliff and there'll be a woman,
but a sexy woman.
but she'll be like, whoa.
So then if you have one of those cliff kinks where it's just like, I can only finish when it's a woman on a cliff.
It'll be a cliff with just a massive pair of tits on the side of.
You know what this means though? Is that the internet has already been a hotbed of creating new kinks.
New kinks.
Things that could never have existed before the internet.
Sure.
I'm looking at you, plain girls who have fronts of planes for heads, sexy plain girls. That exists on the internet, right? That could be a whole other hate. Let's leave that for the future. Just imagine Concorde, the front of a Concorde, where a woman's head should be.
It's such a shame that this audio medium will never, ever do justice to the expression on Chris Frey's face.
It exists, right? And now someone has developed themselves down into a sexual dead end where the only way they can complete is by seeing Concords with big bazongas, right? That's the only way. And there's only one guy drawing them, and he died. And now there's no one to make...
What do you mean drawing them?
Well, this is what I mean.
Well, here's the thing. Like, you might find...
We've got to go so many steps back for Chris.
Maybe you've spent years working in the contemporary art scene. You've had a few gallery exhibitions. They've been generally well reviewed. They haven't done massively well. And you're struggling to make ends meet as an artist, and you're kind of realizing you're on the twilight years of your career, and you're going, I'm never going to be. I'm never going to be.
I'm never going to make what I want.
I'm not going to be in the Tate Modern. It's never going to happen.
Sure.
And then you get an email. Ping. An email comes in, and it's from some hard to decipher email address, and it says, "I will pay you $1.
Sure.
If you draw plane with tits."
Yes.
And you go,
me like Concorde, me like lady.
Yeah. And you go,
I have a degree.
Yeah.
But I also need to.
But I need to pay the bills.
I have a degree in aeronautical design. So I mean,
civil engineer.
And you go, well, you know what?
But are we talking? Right.
I don't like where my life has taken me, but I've got rent to pay.
Here we are.
I have rent to pay. This person is going to give me $300 if I do a quick doodle of a Boeing 747 with a dump truck ass, and so you do it and you send it off, and then they send you money. And then tomorrow you have 2 emails. Because someone saw the first picture and they're like,
"You've now opened."
That wasn't enough for them.
Yeah.
Well, it wasn't enough for person 1, but now person 2's in on the game.
Person 2.
I want to harry a dump jet, if you know what I mean. If you wouldn't mind. And
write that
down. and then suddenly, in the span of 4 weeks, you're now the leading artist.
But
come on.
So,
here we go.
Tell us your thoughts.
Is it a plane with women's features, or is it a woman's body?
Yes.
Woman's body, yes.
Okay, yeah.
With a plane for a head.
Come with us on this journey.
The front of a plane, where the pilot might sit. The cockpit /nose of the plane. that comes out of her neck.
Yeah, so like she's wearing a
plain hat.
You know, you get like a rubber horse mask. Imagine that, but it's like a
front of a
Boeing
Boeing
747.
Yeah.
The sexiest of the planes.
Oh, I mean, well, that's
undeniable.
Yeah.
Without a doubt, yeah. So that's what we're talking about. But listen, that is one tiny piece, fragment of ice on an iceberg that is terrifying, right? Yeah. And my point is that there are many avenues like this that people have found themselves down, and this is the only thing that they can get off to.
Yeah.
And if that one artist dies or moves on,
finally exit.
The fans can't draw because they haven't devoted their life to anything, so they can't make their own Plane Girls anymore.
No, I have a question.
Sure,
and this might seem a little unnecessary.
Oh, I'm sure
we'll Franks it.
Why can't they wank twice to the same picture?
I think they can probably wank 12 to 13 times.
I realise this isn't the biggest issue.
No, I understand.
I think it might wear off. That's a
after
surprisingly profound question, actually. I think.
Why do they need more pictures?
I think it's like familiarity
breeds contempt.
Dulls the edge.
I think because it's not that they want more Plane Girls. I think it will need to develop more.
They need
So it like the next one might be another Plane Girl. Third one might be another Plane Girl. Fourth one, it's like, what would she be like with wings? And then you're like, oh shit, that's really hot.
At what point does she just become a plane?
Well, again,
there's probably a fine line.
We're going down a very specific hypothetical here.
Yeah,
I think there's probably it's funny. There's probably
I feel like we're getting bogged down in semantics.
No, but we'll use it as an example because I think there's probably one community which is like, show me a Boeing 747, the sexiest of the planes with tits, and I'm happy.
747,
That's very good.
Or show me a chrome-plated woman with the head of a plane. You know what I mean? It's like two ends, like the centaur spectrum. Like how much is horse, how much is man? You know,
and different people will get off on different amounts of plane or woman.
Sure. Oh yeah.
But the point is, like, as niche as that community is, and I think, as Nick was saying, like even niche are the number of artists producing work in that world.
Yeah.
So if you can then go to
an AI,
planewank.ai, and you can say, show me a woman on a cliff, and it's actually a beautiful, seductive Boeing 747 coming into
landing gear down,
coming in.
This is what I mean.
Yeah.
Is this an infinite source of the kinks that people require?
Yeah.
Yes.
And the answer is yes.
The answer is yes.
Yeah. The answer is
if someone is, if a group of nerds are fully devoting their time to making it as sexy as possible, then I think the lid's already off.
Yeah.
Like, we're way into this now.
I have a question.
Oh, of course you do.
It's slightly aside from the pornography of it all. If I used one of these websites and just put in a show called Hate, but in not
That's a great question.
Not a sexy one.
No,
but just an AI one, like, I don't know, in prehistoric times. What do you think? Should we try it?
We'd need to do it on a desktop computer.
Yes. Yeah, I don't think you'd get anything because
Do you think you get us?
I think it would pick up on show.
Right.
And it would pick up on prehistoric times.
Okay.
It would probably ignore a show called Hate. I doubt it would find our podcast.
I don't.
I'm just wondering how powerful it is.
You might get something weird, like, I don't know, a bunch of Nazis watching a stage performance with a dinosaur.
Yes, you'd probably get something like that.
Because it can only reference. So if you probably said something like,
what if I put John Locke comics?
There's anything that can be Googled could show up, but you'd have to code it right. So I reckon if you put a show called Hate, but in inverted commas, then it knows to look for that whole string.
Yeah.
It might work then.
I don't think. Yeah, I don't think there's enough imagery.
There's not enough imagery
associated with a show called Hate. Now there's the ones that do text.
Sure.
So like there's ones which will generate a story. So you could say like the ones that go like we fed 100 episodes of Friends into an AI.
Yes.
And then it generates
an episode.
Yeah, it's doing it by going.
It's looking.
Yeah, it's looking at what currently exists.
It's looking and learning,
playing it back to you effectively.
Right, gotcha.
I think if you have the bigger a presence something has on the internet, the better chance it has of showing up.
Yeah.
Like if you wrote something like Brad Pitt on a cliff, it would probably do a pretty good job of that.
Draw a pretty good Brad Pitt.
Because there's loads of Brad Pitt to be found out there. But
yeah. Well, I've just typed in, and I'll leave it to do it.
Oh, have you got one going?
So I put in John Locke comics in prehistoric times.
I see. I don't think.
That's fine. But
you're more likely to get the main character from Lost, I'd imagine.
Oh yeah, good point. Is that it? Has it created it?
It's done something.
What's it done?
It's a comic strip.
Has it found
Does the
that
text
or
make any
made
sense?
that?
It's made it, I think.
Does the text
generate?
Is the text gibberish?
It's amazing audio.
Yeah. Anyway.
Anyway,
no,
speaking of
carry
text,
on.
speaking of text being gibberish.
There you go.
Okay, well, that's exciting.
That's fun.
Well, there you go.
If I
Anyway.
find something good, then I'll put it on the group.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So Loeb.
So Loeb, she's
Loeb,
out there.
That was awful.
She's only getting stronger.
That was awful.
And we need to start preparing for the Loeb invasion.
I think we should.
Loeb for president. Loeb 2028.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's going to create her own podcast network called Earlobes.
Yeah.
Fuck, that's good.
Good, isn't it? And I tied it back in as well.
Earlobes.
Look at that.
Write that down.
How about that?
Write that down.
So back to you, John, with the
Well,
love.
I want something clean. I want something practical. I want something down to earth. I love a good command hook.
Oh, those things you hang things on the walls with.
A sticker.
What do you mean?
Well, yeah, it's
What
like
do
a
you
command,
mean?
you know, like well, you're a man who loves DIY, Chris Ray.
Yeah, I do.
You know, if you wanted to hang a picture, what are you going to do?
What are you going to do? You're gonna jam a nail in the wall?
You're going to drill a hole in the wall.
I'll get a man round.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Hang a picture.
Of a bourgeoisie.
I mean, I could fuck that up, frankly.
You could go through like
I feel
don't know,
less-
a water main or something.
I feel less apprehensive about that, but even so.
Yeah, sure.
So you've not heard
Or-
of command strips or command hooks?
I reckon you have.
I
It's a
reckon
stuck
if
shit.
you describe them to me.
Is this
I will.
picture up with them?
No, that's an. Although I wish I had a command hook because, in fact, Nick, you've inspired me. I need to rehang a picture. I'm going to use.
There
a
used to be a
command hook.
picture there.
Yeah, it fell off. Yeah.
On that wall.
Well, Lucy took it off for a visual aid, and then it fell off.
Oh dear.
So,
Sorry to hear that.
but no, a command hook. It's like a double-sided, very powerful, sticky pad.
Oh.
You can hang anything on it
I do know that.
To a degree.
to a degree.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, not,
It's like a plastic hook.
Yeah.
yeah, but
But it sticks to the wall with a very sticky.
Yeah. I used to use them for like dressing gowns.
There we go. Yeah,
kind of
you
thing.
get it. Yeah,
I know what you're
Yeah,
talking
you're only
about.
playing dumb.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can get
For 5 years.
you get all kinds of hooks, big hooks, small hooks, metal hooks. It doesn't really matter. Like,
Hooks to hang a fish
it's
on,
for magic.
yeah.
It's for magic sticking.
That's
Like,
what
you
matters.
like adhesive.
I think that's
Yeah.
the command
That's
bit.
where we're
Yeah,
getting
because
to.
today we've got a couple of I say command hooks, air quotes.
Inverted commas.
A kind of command hook that actually has like two pieces of Velcro.
Yes.
So
So
you
you-
can have
You put one half on the wall, and then you put the other half on the thing that you want to hang on the wall, and then you go and stick it up there
with Velcro.
with Velcro.
Yeah.
The beauty is you can take
Yeah.
it off and on and off and on, and it doesn't.
This also ties into what we were talking about with painting earlier and how like I like it because you get an immediate, instant gratification
Sure.
of solving a problem.
I like that.
Yeah,
I get that.
It's a small thing, but like when life is chaotic, I like finding a small thing I can control. And again, it's been a chaotic couple of weeks, and I today took the multi-tap adapter, like the kind of multi-socket plug thing that was behind our TV, and I was like, "That's really messy. I'm gonna tidy it
Get
up."
a cable
I did
tidy.
this recently.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I took all the cables out, and then I took this kind of multi-socket plug thing, and I stuck a bit of a couple of these command hooks behind it with a Velcro, with this delightful Velcro thing,
Yeah.
and I have stuck this row of sockets on a multi-tap adapter thing.
Sure.
Vertically along the side of the storage unit.
Oh, very good.
And
clever.
I cannot begin to describe
Yeah.
the sheer joy in its truest sense of going, look at that, it's so tidy, it's neat, I feel happy. And then I used a little cable tidy and reassessed how the cables lay.
I labelled every plug. I put a
good.
little label around
Wow.
the collar of every plug. It's like TV, PlayStation.
Well,
Yeah.
that's a bit much.
Yeah,
but,
yeah, it's
no.
a bit much,
But God, it's good.
The best DIY thing I did, actually, now that I think about it,
Tell me about it.
you know that bit of a door where the it sort of locks into itself when you shut it, not necessarily when you lock it, but you got the metal bit within the frame of the door.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That little bit, I took off the frame of the door.
Wow.
And I screwed it into the wall, and I used it to like hang the dog's lead sort of
Ooh.
wooden element on. We got a bit of a wooden thing with a hook on it, and I used that to pop that on the wall.
Nice.
Otherwise, it wasn't staying up, and it sort of just hung there for
Very
years,
weird.
and it worked very well.
I don't really know how that happened.
Where did that come from?
Lobe.
What was that? Where did that come from?
I don't know. A bottle cap just kind of teleported across
Well,
the room.
I
How many
placed it on the
bottle
top
caps?
of my bottle.
How
I think
many
it
bottle
just
caps are there?
popped. Oh no.
Anyway, I like little practical things like that. I enjoy that.
Yeah.
side of
Command
things.
strips are incredible.
Hmm.
And part of the reason why is because sometimes when I'm doing things. Like I mentioned earlier about painting. Like I want things to be done. I don't want to take time. I don't want to drill a hole in a wall and then put a wall plug in there and then get the right screw and then oh no, it's in the wrong place. The great thing about command strips, right? Bam, 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 and you just put it on the wall and then you let go and it stays there.
It's good, isn't it?
It's literally like you have telekinesis,
Yeah.
kind of. You just go, I want that to be there, and you go bop, and it just stays there.
Just there.
It's incredible.
It's good, isn't it?
It's good, isn't it? It's
That is good. I like that.
I found I was clearing out a couple of cupboards and I found a bunch of them. You see, and you're right to
because
use
they're not cheap.
No, they're not. No, and you're right to use the phrase command strip because I think I'm more in love with the adhesive than I am with.
I think
the
that. Yeah,
hook.
I think that's what it is. No more nails. That kind of
Be
thing.
like that.
Except that the command
But
strips
no one
have
else is glue,
a
isn't
little tab to pull,
Yeah.
and then they remove and they don't leave a mark on the wall.
Yeah.
That's very satisfying, isn't it?
No, but I found like a little baggie of them in the house, and then I went drunk with power.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so
You
I
should have done.
fixed out.
Now
this-
everything's hanging
I
up.
fixed this power cable thing, and then I was like,
What more can I do?
fuck else can I stick to a wall? And like Lucy had a crocheted painting thing she'd made, and I was
Yeah.
like, gotta get that.
Stick
on
that to the wall.
Get
Get
that on the wall. Yeah,
yeah.
can't stop myself. Tomorrow I'm gonna fill this.
Do it. I can't wait to come back here in 6 to 8 weeks and see that new one hanging on the wall.
I can't wait for the next occasion where I can't find a viable excuse to not turn up.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's my love. Nice
Love
and
it.
simple. Love it.
Good. Do you want mine?
Well, want is a strong word, but
Do.
Well, I
yes.
know how much you both love football.
Yeah.
I know it.
God, I love football.
Don't you?
God, I
God.
hope it comes home.
I hope it stays where
Coming home status : it's. I love 10 a.m. kickoffs.
10 a.m. kickoff.
So the World Cup's on.
Oh, it's in another country.
It's in another country. Well, we won't get political.
No,
It's an awful place for the record, Qatar.
we won't get political.
We won't get
it's
political,
an
but
awful place.
However, I'm enjoying the football. I'm enjoying it being on during the day. And it's the first World Cup during the winter, which has its foibles, of course, and it's not necessarily ideal because we prefer it in the summer.
Oh, interesting.
However,
why is it in the winter?
because it was in Qatar.
Right, because it's
And
it's
so
hotter than
And
the
it's
sun.
fucking hot in the
Right.
summer. It's hot now. It's like 30 now.
Interesting.
But it's wild in the summer.
That
Apparently.
makes a lot of sense.
Even though they said they would get air-conditioned stadiums, they just couldn't do it. So
How
they,
does that even work?
it shouldn't be there.
Okay.
It shouldn't be there. It shouldn't be now. However,
Here we are.
here we are.
Yeah.
And it's quite nice having it, I suppose, in the winter because everything's shit. It's dark early. It's dark late. Whatever. However, 10 a.m. kickoffs have been going on for about a week and a half.
wait. So if it's 10 a.m. UK
Yeah,
time,
I think it's like something like 2 p.m. in Qatar.
Okay, yeah.
right.
Something like that.
Sure, yeah.
So they've been trying to jam in quite a lot of games into each day. There's been 4 games a day.
Holy crap.
10 a.m., 1 p.m., 4 p.m., 7 p.m.
This must be going on late in Qatar then.
Yeah, oh yeah, I
Yeah.
guess so. But they don't seem to care that much. They basically purpose-built a load of stadiums. They're going to knock them all down afterwards.
Really?
Oh yeah.
In terms
Okay,
of
people only died.
in terms of local
Yeah, I know, right.
time,
We're not getting political.
No, we're not.
But-
Awful place.
local time.
Yeah.
What is the latest a game could be played?
I don't know what local time is. Local time.
Well, even in the UK, would you expect somewhat like a
Oh,
team
well-
to play at like 9 p.m.?
The latest you tend to kick off is about 8 o'clock probably.
8 o'clock.
Yeah.
Do you think they've eaten? Have they had tea? At that
Players?
point? Yeah, the players. Yeah.
Well, the players live a privileged lifestyle where time doesn't really matter.
Sure, yeah, but
wouldn't
you know,
say.
if you're having bangers and mash before going out,
Sure,
you
after
feel,
before a big game.
you feel a bit bloated, wouldn't you?
Yeah,
you know,
you
but you
would.
got to have
Yeah.
something, yeah.
You're gonna have some bangers.
I reckon they'll have had. They're gonna. Yeah, you're gonna have none.
a banger with a scoop of mash.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's
In
a
an
dip.
ice cream cone.
You know, like Dairy Dunkers, and you have like a few sticks and then a
Yeah.
little bit of cheese. It could be like that. It's like a few bangers, just a little bit of mash.
Yeah.
Just like sklonch,
Yeah.
clomp.
Then they're ready for the game.
Ready for the game.
The big match.
They're ready
Yeah.
for the big game.
Yeah.
Can you imagine who's that Swedish monster who works?
Swedish monster.
Yeah, the massive Nordic Loeb, the guy who plays for a
Nordic.
big UK team. Don't look at me like that.
Zlatan.
Yeah, but is he? What's his deal? Is he
he a monster?
Sweden aren't at the World Cup.
Is he Nordic? No, he's not. He's
Haaland.
Haaland. Thank you.
He's
You're
Norwegian.
looking at me like I'm an idiot. Like
Norwegian.
Norwegian, yeah.
They're not at the World
He's
Cup
like
either.
18 foot tall.
Wow.
He just keeps growing, and
He's
He's 15 years old.
he's incredible to look at, and he's unbelievably good as well.
What's his
But
name?
Erling Haaland.
Okay.
Haaland. Yeah.
Holland.
But he's just he's an incredible specimen.
So when
Okay.
Haaland's sitting in the changing room before a game.
But they're not in the World Cup, Norway.
Oh yeah, but okay, but no, I'm not talking about.
Come
World Cup.
with John on the
Yeah,
journey.
okay.
Yeah.
Definitely,
I'm just saying, like, it's 8 p.m.
Yeah.
He's thinking like, oh,
How many
it's a
bangers
little,
can I fit in?
it's a little, I need a bit of time to digest. So it's a little early for a full meal, but by the time I'm finished,
Sure.
I'll be starving. I can't.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Can't have a
Yeah.
meal at half time. Do you think he's got a little packed lunch? And he's like, I'll have a baby.
Well,
bowl.
I suspect
a baby bowl.
top footballers are catered for.
Oh, sure,
put it
yeah.
that way.
Don't footballers just eat like orange segments?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty. I think exclusively.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
They're all dead by 40. Yeah.
What's the opposite of rickets?
Another citrus-related death.
Do you think in the changing room, it's like when you're feeding crocodiles at like Gator World or something?
Yeah.
And,
Gator World?
and it's like, the ceiling's open, but there's maybe a couple of like wire mesh walkways, and someone walks by.
It's just like park rangers chucking penne down.
Yeah.
Yeah. Chris Pratt with a bucket of carbonara, just like
Yeah. There you
scooping
go.
it out. Hey, Bluey!
Feed him and get out. The thing is, Haaland gets all of it.
Yeah, because
Yeah,
he's the biggest. That's why.
He's the apex footballer.
Yeah.
Handful of krill, just kind of.
Just pecking at the ground.
So anyway, so there've been a lot of 10 a.m. kickoffs the last week or so.
Sure.
It's been great.
So is the reason you like this, and I think the answer is pretty obvious, that you basically have an entire day of football.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Like I can start the day and it's like, only 2 hours until football.
And this is, of course, like
hell.
in your home, which is a building site, so you need that comfort of. A
Well, you
football
need
game.
the football
Yeah.
on for the builders, right? Because
Well,
they'll be very angry
I said to them, "Do you want me to put the football on for you?"
for you.
Because I'm so nice like that. So I put the laptop
so
in the building
Yeah,
site.
and they're like, this
And
is a trap.
Yeah.
isn't it?
Yeah.
It's for governor. We can't. What do we say to him?
Yeah. Like, yeah.
No, do whatever
So
you
and then
want.
I watch it. I sort of have it on while I work, just on my phone. It's been great.
Sure.
They've stopped now the 10 a.m. kickoffs, which is a shame.
Why?
They got wise.
Because they got wise to it. Because eventually you have to play the games at the same time, so there's no competitive advantage in the final game. Because they play at the same time, and because their points are so close, because they play 3 games in the group.
because if they because it's about
If they play at different times, a team may play tactically for one result or the other.
Right,
if they know
right.
the other result already.
and when are they going to have their tea? They might be. It's a
Oh
little
well,
early
they have one banger for breakfast because they
Yeah.
don't have to play at 10, and then they have
Banger sandwich.
banger sandwich at
Yeah.
lunch, and then probably a couple of bangers in a cone.
A couple of loose, couple of loose bangers, and then you run onto the field with a banger in a pocket.
Yeah.
For a mid game snack.
Yeah.
They open the banger sluice at 5
Yeah,
a.m.
God.
but only for like 2 seconds. Yeah.
Got a
Because
bum bag.
Haaland's not at the World Cup, everyone gets fed.
Got a bum bag full of mash.
Yeah.
Take that onto the pitch.
So they're now playing at 4 and 7, which is slightly more sociable, I suppose.
Our time.
But yeah, you have to then wait all day,
Sure. Yeah.
and that will
4
only
and
get
7.
worse as the more teams get knocked
Wait.
out, and it'll only be evening games soon. Nightmare.
Wait, 4 and 7 in the afternoon.
Yes,
Our time.
our time.
So 7. That's like 11.
That's like 10 p.m. there.
Really?
Yeah.
Someone's playing at 10 p.m.
Yeah,
That's
Qatar.
a disadvantage, isn't it? I've been knackered.
Yeah,
at
I'd
10
be so
PM.
tired.
Yeah.
Oh well, they're probably on their own.
It's been hours since I've had a banger or a mash.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They can have all the bangers they want though. If they play
Yeah,
at
but
10
then
p.m.
you're like, then you're
A
in this,
day of bangers.
Day of bangers.
You're in this weird hinterland then, where you're like, well, I had my bangers, but it's not bedtime yet, is it?
Footballers
Bedtime
can never
bangers,
have,
though.
Footballers can never have enough bangers.
What do you do? You come off a pitch at, hang on,
Midnight.
no,
Probably midnight.
no, hang on,
Midnight.
I can do this.
Midnight.
No,
It'll be midnight.
Midnight.
because
Midnight.
overtime.
At midnight.
No, because it's
Just
90,
after midnight.
it's 90 minutes.
An hour and a half.
2:40. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I had to think for a second. Yeah, 2:45 minutes.
Yeah.
How long's the interval?
The interval.
I'm glad he said it, not me. Because there's a chance I would have said that.
How long is the
Half
interval?
time. How long's half time?
They have an interval banger, obviously.
Yeah. How long is it, though?
15 minutes.
50. Ah, here we go.
15
minutes. So that's an hour 45. So it's 11:45.
And then potentially some extra time would take
There's
midnight.
stoppage time and things like that.
Yeah. Okay. So we're coming off at midnight. We're agreed on that.
That's what I just said.
Shut up. We're coming off at midnight, right? And then they're like, "Well, it's. I'm hungry now."
Late night
'Cause
banger.
Yeah.
They go round to the banger van.
You could have a midnight
Yeah.
banger.
I mean, the vans will be having them.
Yeah.
Won't they? They'll
Yeah.
be going around with cones of bangers in their car.
They just follow football teams around, the banger vans.
The banger vans.
Yeah.
But again, if
They
you
know they'll be out.
If you,
They'll
if,
be
you-
out,
if you have
yeah.
if you have too many bangers though, how are you going to sleep? You can't sleep on a full stomach.
I beg to differ.
Oh, so it's a real Sophie's choice here.
Oh,
you know?
gosh. Yeah.
Just for clarity's sake, are you suggesting that the bangers give you energy?
Food
this
generally
scenario.
does.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
Oh, you
like
could.
caffeine.
I reckon if I had, let's say, 4 bangers and a big plate of mash, I'd be asleep within 20 minutes.
Yeah, that's my point. But but have you ever?
If you had 2 bangers,
but
you'd be up for hours.
Yeah, yeah.
But it's counterintuitive. You need some energy in order to go to sleep.
So 1 banger.
Yeah, no. If you're really hungry, it can be very hard to fall asleep because you need like a tiny bit of energy to get you over the hill of going into sleep mode.
1 banger before sleep.
Well, that's my thing. But it's going to be so hard to strike that balance because you're like, I've
Just
finished
have a little-
big game.
They have top scientists working on this.
Little fridge by the bed.
Yeah.
Some cold bangers in there just for.
Put the bangers next to. So if you, exactly.
Yeah, you get some of those chewing bangers, which
Yeah.
put it under your gum.
And then spit it into a platoon.
That's my point. I worry about when are they getting their their meal. That's what I worry about.
John's very worried about.
You seem genuinely concerned about it.
Maybe they do their meal before the game and then they have their pudding when they come out.
Yeah, maybe.
Gareth Southgate's there with
That'll be the orange slices,
like a Muller corner.
There you go, lads. Just like a tray at the interval of a play. Like chalk ices.
Oh, yeah.
Chalk ices, lads.
Chalk ices, lads. Hey. They'd melt in
Albatross.
Qatar, though, wouldn't they?
Yeah. Albatross.
Do you reckon even a Premier League, Premiership, Premier
See,
League
I'm at
player.
the point now where I don't know if you're genuinely asking me what happens.
Well, if I say a word, if I say a proper noun,
Right.
I'm going to say it in a very questioning way because I'm not sure. So Premier League
Football.
Just nod if I'm saying that correctly.
Yeah.
Players.
Yeah. So good. So far, so
people
good.
at prime peak physical fitness.
Yeah.
Nutritionists, physiotherapists,
Personal chefs.
Yeah.
They come off at half time
Yeah.
for the interval.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
They've got a 1-0 lead.
Sure.
They're going well. They don't want to lose it.
No good.
They need to keep that energy up.
Do you want to know what footballers actually eat at half time?
Yes.
Yeah.
Jelly babies.
I love a jelly baby.
John. Maybe John's a
they're good
footballer.
for energy.
I could eat twice as many as a Premier League footballer.
How many
I'm
do they
telling you.
have?
They've got bags of them. Like if you look in the changing rooms, they got like, these gels and all that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, jelly babies is like a thing because they give you good energy.
But my point is, if the manager
What is your
came,
point?
if the manager was like, guys,
I don't really know where we're going.
let me
here.
finish it. If he goes, guys, I know this is against the diet. I know this is against the regime. I don't do this every night, but I'm really proud of you boys. You must meet angels.
1-0 up.
Have a chalk ice. And if the manager walked
At
around
half time.
yeah, this is my question to you.
Half-time chalk ice.
You could eat a
Nobody's ever been proud at half time.
But if you could eat a 1-0 lead,
Okay, let's say 2-0 lead.
a 2-0 lead.
5-0 lead.
5-0
5-0
lead.
lead, yeah.
5-0 lead at half
5-0
time.
lead at half time. You might
Yeah,
Right,
yeah,
yeah,
chalk ice.
okay. Now we're talking.
What score would they
Yeah.
have to get at half time
Yeah.
to get a chalk ice?
Well,
Probably 5.
at least 5.
Let's say
What if-
6-0 to be safe.
What if he'd promised them? He said, if you're 4-0 by half time,
Yeah.
you can have a chalk ice.
That's an incentive.
And then
isn't it?
That's a
actually,
hell of an incentive.
they overdid it, and they're 6-0 at half time.
no chalk ices.
How?
Oh.
What I'm saying is,
That's
how
a lack of discipline.
how much percentage over do you have to go for the manager to say, guys, I told you get a chalk ice, but instead, what is it? It's a Viennetta. Yeah, he's-
Everyone gets a Viennetta
Everyone
each.
gets a full Viennetta.
I mean, they can afford it.
Yeah.
keeping Haaland back with chairs.
Yeah.
Haaland.
Haaland's already had 6.
It's for sharing. No, but if the manager was going around with like a bunch of party plates, like little cardboard plates,
Yeah.
Yeah,
a
with
little
Peppa Pig on them.
plastic spoon,
Yeah.
and he's carving slices of Viennetta.
I don't think this is the manager's priority.
What if that is the one thing that a manager hasn't tried yet? You
Yeah.
said incentive, right?
Viennetta, yeah.
Like offering Viennetta at half time if you're 4-0 up. Like,
Yeah.
it could work.
Yeah, it
We
could,
don't know that it wouldn't.
We don't know because no one's
We don't
done
know for
it.
sure. We
Because
don't
they're
know for
obsessed
sure.
with nutritionists and personal chefs and all this shit. But Viennetta
Yeah.
could be the answer to everything.
Lower league clubs sometimes, like Gillingham, sometimes if they play well, we'll get fish and chips on the team bus on the way over.
Oh,
Nice.
on the way home though.
Yeah,
yeah.
not at half time.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't. The
game's already
yeah,
played
Fish
at
and
that
chips.
point.
You wouldn't do fish and chips at half time. It'd blow
That's
it.
madness.
But like a chalk ice, I reckon you feel pretty good.
Or a
after
cone
chalk-
of bangers.
Yeah.
Cone of mini
cone of
bangers.
bangers.
Cone of bangers. Yeah.
Cone of little bangers.
Yeah, lovely.
Oh, you
Good.
went very much off topic
That's
there,
great, I love
but
that.
I missed the 10 a.m. kickoffs.
Yeah.
There, I said it.
Smart. Well, I'm.
Or if you're in Qatar, it's 1 p.m.
Are we out yet?
No, not yet.
still in.
Playing Sunday.
Who
So
we
by
playing?
the time this
Sunday,
goes out,
Sunday.
we might be out.
Who are we
are
playing?
Senegal.
Oh, we're doomed.
There's the ITV curse. Yeah,
What's
yeah.
that?
So every time we play on ITV during the World Cup, we fucking lose. And we're playing on ITV this weekend.
Oh,
I
so
think we've won 2 out of 15 games, World Cup games that have been on ITV in the last 20 odd years.
I like the dogs.
I do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whereas BBC, we tend to win.
That's weird.
Yeah,
It's because the ads keep breaking up the flow of play.
probably.
Yeah, they have to stop legally.
They keep
Yeah.
doing it. Hi, I'm the Wedge. That kind
Philip
of
and the
thing.
Wedge.
Philip and the Wedge.
Philip and the Wedge.
I love if you come back from Mags and everyone's just like standing still, like sucking on a chalk ice.
Oh shit!
Oh fuck!
Gumming a chalk ice. All right, well, I'll take us home with my love.
Take us home.
I'm really going to end on a high here. This is like peak
I'm very excited.
podcast.
I'm very excited.
I'm ready to be let down.
Paper towels.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
we had a good run.
Yeah.
If I go into a toilet.
What are we defining as a paper towel? With the green ones?
Basically, anything that is a physical medium for me to dry my hands on that isn't a fucking hand dryer.
I do prefer them.
And I'm like, this is paradise.
Yeah.
Because it never happens.
No.
Everyone's like, put it in dryer and it's better for the environment. You know?
Fuck the environment. Oh.
You said what we're all thinking.
Yeah.
But also, they don't work. I've never encountered a hand dryer, even those fancy Dyson ones where you go in and out of the slot up and down.
They are much better.
They're better.
Yeah.
But do your hands come out dry? No, you still wipe them on your fucking ass, don't you? Before you walk out. At least I do. My bare ass, and then I pull my trousers up.
Sir, you're making a scene.
No, I'm not.
By this time, you're back in the restaurant.
Yeah, I usually put my trousers up when I get back to the table. Yeah.
Oh, you got to air dry on the way
Well,
back.
exactly.
haven't
My
you?
ass is going to be wet otherwise. I'm not a monster. But if I go into a toilet, and usually it's fancy toilets, right? Like big hotel toilets or like fancy theatres toilets. And I mention this because I was at a theatre at the weekend and it had a fancy, it was a fancy theatre, had a fancy toilet, and it had, you pull out little paper towel, a little bit cushiony on the hands. And look at that, my hands are dry. And then there's usually a little waste paper basket there that says we recycle all of our paper towels. So this is actually okay for the environment.
Who
so
cares?
fuck you. Jam that in there, walk out the bathroom, hands are dry. Never happens with a hand dryer ever.
Was it one of
Ever.
the fancier options where you weren't like pulling paper towels out of a machine? There was like a little basket with like hand folded.
That's the ultimate fancy. It's either in a little basket next to the sink, and he said next to the toilet. That's not what I mean. Sure. Or just a little stack on like a marble shelf that's just like, this is the paper towel shelf.
Yeah.
And you know that a man in a three-piece suit cleans that toilet every 15 minutes, and he comes in and he refills that stack because that's the only way.
Yeah. And you see that stack, and you're like, and it's like, take one. Oh, I will. And you just kind of like,
Oh, I make a point of taking 4.
Well, this is it, because you're in a posh place.
Yeah.
And they're expecting you to. I honestly think that the right thing to do is take about 9.
Yeah. I just tried to like fisk the stack, basically. Yeah, it's just like, oh, thank you.
Nobody ever takes 1.
And then I put 1 or 2
Ever.
down the back of my pants because my ass would
your ass
probably be
wet,
wet.
yeah.
And then go out with actually dry hands. And I know it's a preposterous love, right? But it actually makes a big difference. If I turn around after washing my hands and I'd see not a hand dryer, but I see some sort of paper towel dispenser, I'm like, oh my God, this is amazing.
Yeah, what a day.
What a day.
mind hand dryers if they just actually worked.
I know.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind them either. But they don't work, because if your hand is going to dry, like you've soaked your hands, right? Because you've washed your hands. They are dripping wet.
Yeah.
If that's going to dry in just the air, no matter how hard or hot that air is blasting at you, that's going to take like 6 minutes.
Yeah.
Probably.
Well, they've kind of gotten worse over the years. Like in the olden days. Like you'd get these. I'm thinking, growing up in this region, which we did, with Chris Ray and I did.
This region.
This area. I swear there was a bunch of like toilets which they all seem to have like the same hand dryer, and I think there's an address on it. It may have been manufactured locally.
Yes.
And it was literally just like the kind of engine you see strapped to the outside of a motorboat, and just like this crude wrought iron hole in the front. Yeah. And it basically like stripped the skin from your bones.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
It's the same technology they use to get rid of old wallpaper off the side of buildings.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's exactly that.
And
It still wouldn't dry your hands though, would it?
no, but I think those did. That's my point.
Well, after 3 or 4 minutes, maybe. Yeah.
No, God, you were lucky to have
Skin after that.
you're lucky to have teeth after
fingernails.
4 minutes. Yeah.
My rib cage.
But like those were great.
Yes.
But I think they ran on diesel or something like that.
probably, yeah.
And now you get these. The worst ones is when it goes like, please stick your hands
into the notch,
and it goes, and turn it on. It goes 8, 7. What do you mean 8, 7?
Yeah,
You
and
know,
well,
like-
that's the bullshit. That's the arrogance counter,
Yeah.
right? Because when it says that which is 0, your hands will be dry. Okay, I'll play your little fucking game then.
Not dry.
But what's great?
0, hands out, sopping wet. Fuck you, Dyson.
They would have done testing in a factory.
They probably just gently dabbed their hands.
And somebody would have said, "But sir, Mr. Dyson, sir, it takes 35 units in order to
Time
dry a
units.
human hand. He goes, give them 7.
They'll thank me for it.
But sir, that's inhuman. Of course, I'm Dyson. What did you fucking think we did
talking
here?
to you on a Zoom call from my lava castle, and everyone's hands are dry here. Yeah, of course they are.
Everyone's hands are permanently dry.
In your lava castle, of
all
course they are.
gone.
Yeah. Dyson is a monster.
That's fun.
He's got it wrong, and I love a paper towel.
I don't know how hand dryers were shit for as long as they were, or as long as they have been.
I
perhaps.
think those Dyson ones think that the air is like scraping the water off your hand.
An
But
air
it's like,
blade.
Yeah, that's
It's
what
an
they're called,
air
aren't they?
blade,
Air
yeah.
blade.
I've seen
but
new
they're not.
variations of that. They've got like handles poking out either
They look
like a
side,
periscope.
the holes. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
they're worse
They are worse.
because you can't work them
Yeah.
very well.
I think this is Dyson's design philosophy. Is like, let's just make it weird,
Yeah,
and if it kind of still does the job, which it
Yeah.
at least does the job as well as any other fucking hand dryer in the world. So yeah, might as well just make it look like a periscope then, because what have we got to lose?
I think the Dyson shit is a bit like, Ali brought it up the other day. Was it the sunken cost fallacy?
Oh yes, good.
Or whatever.
Good phrase, yeah.
Because it's kind of like some of the Dyson products have like the proud legacy of Dyson, and we were like, look at all the things we've invented. He made a wheelbarrow with a ball for a wheel.
Oh, I
yeah.
remember
yeah,
that.
He
Yeah.
goes, oh, incredible. He made a Hoover. I'm like,
Oh,
incredible.
without a bag.
He made a fan.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh yeah, cool. Yeah,
Nobody
the
owns
bladeless
that
fan.
fan.
Yeah. He goes, he made a hand dryer. I'm like, okay, so you really lent into the air,
The blowy
Yeah.
thing.
things.
Because it makes you feel like, oh, he's a serial inventor. It's like, well, no, he invented one
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
Which is basically a way of blowing air. It's either going in or it's coming out, you know. And then he's like, okay, fuck, I've got nothing else. Oh, shit, I call myself an inventor. Oh, let's do it again.
Yeah. I'll just make it different.
The air blade. Oh, no, now we'll put handles on it. So now it
Yeah.
looks like a...
genius.
He's genius. The man's a genius.
He's dancing as fast as he can because he's got one trick.
Yeah.
Air.
And it's propellers.
Yeah.
I don't know what's wrong with bladed fans.
Yes. Yes.
Personally.
Well,
No.
here's the annoying thing. You know his fan that's his bladeless
Yeah.
fan? It's not. It's
got
got
blades.
blades in the base.
There you go then.
They're just hidden.
What?
How the fuck else do you blow air around? There's no other way.
Yeah.
If you take that thing apart, there are blades in the bottom of it. It just redirects it up and out. It's
Didn't
a big
No.
fucking lie.
Well, okay,
Didn't
two
invent
excellent
anything.
points made by two excellent hosts here. A, you said it's a big fucking lie.
Big fucking
and
lie.
B, you said
What's wrong with
bladed fans?
Nothing.
Nothing.
Nothing was wrong with bladed
No.
fans. That's
I've
the
got a
thing.
fan at home. It's got blades on it
Yes.
because it blows air at my face.
There is a cage around it. It's,
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
And if I want to
Can't-
feed a banger into that and get sliced sausage
Oh,
meat,
that'd be
then
good.
so be
That'd
it.
be good, wouldn't it?
Yeah, can't do that with a Dyson.
Yeah. No,
It's
a
weird.
shame,
It's
really.
weird if you're an inventor.
I'm an inventor.
Because I think there's actually very few things left to invent.
No, so what you have to do is you have to take something that everyone is used to.
Yeah.
You have to say, I've made it weirdly, radically better. And the air blade is a really good example of this.
Yes.
It's like, we've had hand dryers for hundreds of years, and they've always been shit. And then he's like, yeah, well, I've made them work. And it's like, no, you didn't.
I've made
But You've
them-
definitely made them different. And so
That's-
everyone's going to buy them.
That's
Yeah.
marketing, though, isn't
That's
it? That will
marketing.
pick up the rest.
Yeah, exactly, yeah,
yeah.
exactly.
What have you got, Dyson? We left you in the Imagineerio, the Imagineerum. You've been in there for 10 years. What have you come up with? It's a fat.
No, I don't want to use that word. Oh.
The thing is with the.
No, I was just sighing.
Oh shit. Well, I guess
all it is just the air's more powerful.
yeah.
Really, innit?
Well, really, I just
It
mean
doesn't really matter. The design of the hand dryer is fine. It's just it didn't blow air out very well.
But presumably that means he's just got a good fan.
Yeah.
You know, like
Yeah, a
like
better
sort of-
fan.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
So then marketing convinced us that having a blade of air was better than, I don't know, a towel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. The towels work.
Yeah. Anyway, what do we think won? Love or hate?
Well,
I don't like painting.
no, and I don't like Loeb.
That horrified me.
I think even our loves had an element of hate.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's probably hate.
I think it's probably 8. Yeah, let's do
alright.
it. Woo! Chris is back and it's 8.
All
Yeah.
right. Hate it is.